interception and a gain of 7 yards on the play. Davis coming in leading the Redskins in receiving.
And I think it's important to get Stephen Davis touches, whether it is running the football or short little dump-offs like that. I think he is going to be very important to the game this afternoon.
Welcome the viewers who saw the New Orleans Saints go 3-0, beating the Chicago Bears, sending the Bears to their first defeat. We're in the first quarter, the start of things here in San Francisco, and Stephen Davis losing the ball, and the fumble recovered by the 49ers. Tony Parrish. A Redskin turnover, and the 49ers will get the ball inside the Redskin 15-yard line. Tony Parrish, the free agent pickup from the Chicago Bears, giving the 49ers a grand opportunity here.
Well, we talked about the defensive struggles on the opening drive. Now they'll have a short field. Stephen Davis just fighting for some extra yards. The ball jarred loose right there by Julian Peterson. Tony Parrish picks it up on the fly. Now look at him with the ball in his hand. He's got some skills as a running back. Big hit by Bryant Young there, and there comes Julian Peterson across from the backside to jar that loose.
So now the crowd booing moments ago, now on the edge of their seats. A 10-yard fumble return. Kevin Barlow goes in motion. 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line, and a fake handoff, and the pass underneath to Eric Johnson, and the tight end out of bounds. And we want to welcome those who saw the Philadelphia Eagles blast the Dallas Cowboys. Moose licking his wounds here as Darrell Green comes into the game as the Eagles go 2-1 on the year. Darrell Green playing his last season, his 20th year, and his last regular season game here at Candlestick. 49ers have not managed to take advantage of the takeaways they've gotten. 2nd down and 3. And the pitch to Barlow. Kevin Barlow to the 5, going for the end zone. Touchdown, 49ers. Seven-yard touchdown run for Kevin Barlow, and it doesn't take the 49ers long to take advantage of that critical fumble by Stephen Davis deep in his own territory.
Yeah, and all that great work on the opening drive goes away. J.J. Stokes comes in with a good crack block right there. There's really nobody there to stop Kevin Barlow from going. He virtually goes in untouched. So some problems on that defense right there on a play that I know they've practiced, because Marvin Lewis talked about the perimeter crack runs that his defense was going to face.
Jose Cortez with the extra point, and the kick is good, and the 49ers in just a little more than 5 minutes capitalize on a Redskin turnover and lead 7.
Tonight on NRL Scoreboard, join Warren Smith, Laurie Daly, Russell Fairfax and Greg Alexander as they take another in-depth look at the NRL.
Well, the reason Kevin Barlow went in untouched was a great block by Derek Deese. He's right here. He's going to pull. Watch the block on Jeremiah Trotter. They get a nice seal from J.J. Stokes. Here comes a nice pull and cut block right there. Sam Shade gets caught up in the wash. Kevin Barlow goes untouched to the corner.
First touchdown of the year for Barlow. That's the brief scoring drive, and the key, of course, was the fumble recovery. So Jose Cortez with the kickoff, and it's going to be Jacquez Green for the Redskins, and Green spinning his way and is stopped in his tracks at the 25 by Jimmy Williams. So the Redskins fall behind as they did a week ago. The Oakland Bay Bridge, the 49ers leading the Redskins 7-0. Steve Spurrier, a former #1 draft pick by the 49ers, who quarterbacked here in San Francisco for 9 years. Now coming back as head coach of the Redskins, who trail. And here's Shane Matthews looking for a receiver, finds up the middle Zeron Flemister, and the tight end gets a first down to the 38-yard line. '49ers defensively, and it's Dana Stubblefield, the former Redskin, Brian Young. Tough defensive tackles up front. Jamie Winborn, Derek Smith, he's an ex-Redskin at the linebacker. And here's the handoff to Stephen Davis. And Davis picking up about 5 yards. And right now for a game break, let's return to Chris Myers in Los Angeles. Chris.
All right, thanks, Dick. In Champaign, Illinois, battle of unbeaten Saints and Bears. New Orleans at one time down 20-0, but just over a minute left. That's the rookie, Dante Stallworth, to give the Saints the lead. Bears have a chance to rally in the closing seconds. Jim Miller intercepted, and the Saints stay unbeaten. The Bears finally lose a close one. Dick?
All right, Chris, thank you very much. 3-0 Saints. These teams are 1-1. And on second down, the screen pass to Brian Johnson, and the 49ers are right there. A great play by Julian Peterson, who is one of the young aces of this defensive unit, and a loss of 4 on the play.
And he's really coming into his own this year on the defensive side of the ball. His knowledge, his experience of being in the system for a while, he reads the screen immediately when he sees the guard pull. He's there to meet Brian Johnson as soon as the ball arrives.
Third down and 11. Kevin Lockett checking in as the third wide receiver, number 83, lining up to the top of your picture. And out of the shotgun is Shane Matthews. And the pressure comes, and the pass overthrown, intended for Lockett. And that will bring up fourth down, and the Redskins will have to punt.
Right now, the Washington Redskins off to a very sluggish start. You'll see the pressure come from the top of the screen. Here comes the safety up. He gets picked up, and here comes your second blitzer. Jamie Wimber comes in, gets a hit on Shane Matthews. Remember, he's got that sore left shoulder, so they're going to try and knock him down as much as possible today.
Ryan Barker kicking. Jimmy Williams back deep for the 49ers. A low kick by Barker, and it bounces and goes out of bounds, and it takes a Redskin roll. 7:38 remaining in the first quarter here at Candlestick. 49ers up by 7. Redskins 7-0. Let's take a look at some of the early games. You know about the Saints remaining undefeated. The Eagles beating Dallas. Carolina with John Fox, the rookie coach, now 3-0. Miami ends an 8-0 jinx, losing to the Jets. New England triumphs in overtime in some of the early games. And we'll keep you apprised of the late games as well. First down on the 18. Jeff Garcia and Garrison Hurst out of the backfield. And he goes out of bounds. Very close to the first down. Chased there by Bruce Smith, the 18-year veteran. And it is a San Francisco first down.
And that's the zone blitz scheme that's become so popular in the NFL. You bring an extra linebacker or defensive back, drop one of your defensive linemen back into coverage, and I'll tell you what, if the San Francisco 49ers can get Garrison Hurst matched up with Bruce Smith right here in coverage, I think they'll take that one every play.
You think the back could beat the defensive lineman who's near 40 years of age?
Those are the mismatches that you're looking for. You know, when you talk about mismatches, running back, defensive end, that's one of them.
Hey, the Lions lead the Packers 7-0. Handoff to Hurst. Quick pass by Garrison Hurst. And he picks up about 4 yards on first down as Stephen Davis gets a little work from trainer Dean Kleinschmidt on his thumb. Davis coming into the game as the Redskins' leading rusher. No surprise. Leading receiver, that is a surprise.
Well, in this offense, you know, we talked with Shane Matthews. They like to get the ball deep downfield. They don't like to check it down, but obviously not being run very effectively if Stephen Davis is leading in receptions.
Garrison Hurst to the bottom part of your screen. Moose got to circle him before we moved into Garcia. Second down and 6. Garcia under pressure, and he fires it, and a bullet, and getting hit was the tight end Eric Johnson by a Redskin defender, and it looked like it was Sam Shade who applied the hit on that pass fired out of bounds.
Well, right now the Washington Redskins getting some pressure up front with their interior defensive line, and that is something that has been lacking all year. And when you talk about being patient and being efficient in your offensive attack that San Francisco has talked about this afternoon, one of the things that has to be there is protection. Otherwise, the players are going to break down. We've seen Jeff Garcia being forced out of the pocket much too often early in this football game.
Third down and 6. Kevin Barlow in as the 49ers like to alternate in series the running backs, but we have seen a lot of Hurst and Barlow together. Third down and 6, and the pass is caught in stride by Terrell Owens. Flag is down, and now Owens Hurst is stopped at midfield by David Terrell on a penalty marker down at the 40-yard line. And here's Mike Carey, and he signals the penalty will be against the Redskins. 17-yard gain, and then the flag.
Before the pass, holding, defense number 24 is declined. The play results in a first down.
So it was before the play. Champ Bailey was holding on the play, and so the penalty declined, and a first down at midfield for the 49ers.
Well, you see all the receivers up on the top. They create a little bunch package to get the ball thrown deep down. You don't have to do that. And this offense has always been able to get the short underneath passes thrown and then allow the receivers to have big yards after the catch. Owens
catching his first touchdown pass of the year last week against the Denver Broncos. First down play action, and Garcia is going to be stopped. Carl Powell, who had started at defensive tackle with Darrell Gardner out of action last week, coming in and making the play, and a loss of 10 yards.
Well, one of the things that San Francisco wants to do is take advantage of the aggressive play. Carl Powell, this is a player that Marvin Lewis said has bought into the scheme and does do his job on a regular basis. And right there, his responsibility is contained. Just in case there's a bootleg or reverse coming out the backside, Carl Powell does a good job staying at home and sacks Jeff Garcia for a big loss.
Gardner, the former Dolphin, coming back after back spasms. Second down and 19. The ball back at the 40-yard line, and the handoff to Garrison Hurst, and Hurst with a big gainer, short of the first down by 4 yards, but gets into Redskin territory at the 45. Ohalete finally makes the grab, pick up a 15.
And this is just something you can't do. You have a great defensive play the series before. This is just a draw play right here. Look at the size of the hole right here that Garrison Hurst has to go through. You have to be expecting certain plays in that situation, a screen or a draw. Scott Gregg does a good job out front. J.J. Stokes blocking downfield. Important parts to long runs are guys blocking downfield.
Third down and 4. Hurst, 5 carries, 23 yards. Third down and 4. And here is Garcia under pressure, and smartly throws it away. He was getting pressure that time from Ronaldo Lynn.
The quarterback was out of the pocket, and the ball got back to the line of scrimmage. Fourth down.
So it is fourth down. Mike Carey gives the explanation. No grounding on the call, and so Jason Baker coming in to punt for San Francisco, and Jaquez Green back deep for the Redskins. Both teams 1-1, and both teams facing their bye week next week. Baker with a good kick, forcing Green to call for the fair catch on the 13-yard line. So Baker does his job. 4:37 remaining in the first. 7-0 San Francisco. The two benches on a warm day in the Bay Area. The 49ers leading, and the Redskins again with poor field position, and they bobble the end around, and Darius Thompson is stopped. Well, you got to wonder about tricky plays when you're backed up that far. A loss of 5 on the play moose.
Well, the Washington Redskins very fortunate not to have another turnover right here. You see the penetration by Brian Young, and then right there, Dana Stubblefield, right at the moment that the ball is being handed off. Darius Thomas does a great job of holding on to that ball.
Second and 15. I don't know whether that was supposed to be a handoff or a pitch. Mike Rumph, the 49ers' #1 pick, in as a nickel back. Stephen Davis, who fumbled early, making up for it a bit here with a battering run, and gets the first down out to the 26-yard line, where Zach Bronson makes the stop. Bronson, who was a problem earlier this week with a sprained left shoulder, makes the play after a pickup of 18 yards.
And any player who makes a mistake early in a football game is just waiting for an opportunity to contribute. Right here, Stephen Davis does a nice job because he is tackled for literally no gain, but runs out of the arms of Julian Peterson for a big gain.
First down at the 25. And they go back to Davis off the left side. And Davis gets to the 31-yard line. And a pickup of 6 yards. Well, if you're Jim Mora Jr. and you're looking at what you want to do, well, he talked about the guidelines that he uses as a defense.
He has very specific defensive goals for his defensive unit. And right there, that last big run by Stephen Davis, he does not want to see those. Under 3 yards per carry in the running game and an opponent's passer rating of under 65. Week 1 versus the Giants, there's the results, a victory. Week 2 against the Denver Broncos, very much out of sync. One of the reasons they lost that football game.
124.7 for Brian Greasy, I would think so. Second down, and the pass, and unable to hold on to it is Rod Gardner. And that will bring up 3rd down and 5 for the Redskins. Steve Spurrier, who did not really experience the kind of a setback that he did last Monday night, losing 37-7 on national television to the Philadelphia Eagles. And he said the offense, you can see he's a little perturbed right now. He can't be happy with what's going on.
Well, you don't ever have to know how frustrated or upset Steve Spurrier is. He kind of shows you.
He wears it on his sleeve. 3rd down and 5. Shane Matthews. And wide open is Ron Flemister. And he gets the first down. And that's the kind of offense that Steve Spurrier runs. 24-yard game where people are open.
Well, here's the area that they want to attack. They want to get in and attack the guard, center guard area. They've moved 3 defensive linemen deep inside, and they're going to be allowed to run their own games. Here comes Dana Stubblefield around in the loop. A good job of protection. Shane Matthews is able to stand in the pocket and deliver the ball. That is an area of concern for the Redskins, and an area the defensive coordinator Jim Mora wanted to attack. Right there, first victory goes to the Redskins O-line.
And you said it right, protection. Without it, you've got no chance. Jacquez Green in motion. And Spurrier said he would play a lot more this weekend. The fake end around, and the pass will go to Green. And Green, getting into 49er territory, is pushed out of bounds. And after all that, a minimal gain of only 3 yards.
But again, it's a gain of 3 yards, and that is so important in this offense. And I know that Shane Matthews talked about getting the ball downfield, and that Steve Spurrier sometimes is not upset with a 2nd down and 10. But I tell you what, I mean, any positive gain is important for an offense. And right now, Shane Matthews does a nice job of just dumping it back to Jacquez Green. He's not forcing it and giving the 49ers an opportunity to create a turnover.
Matthews, an accurate and smart quarterback. And his pass is caught by Green. First down for the former Tampa Bay Buccaneer. And I should also say Florida Gator, getting 9 yards and a first down to the 34 with Frank Strong on the tackle.
And you knew it would just be a matter of time before Jacquez Green got more involved in this offense because of the familiarity he has being a former Gator. He knows the subtleties of the system. He knows how to change his route at the line of scrimmage. And I think it'll be very important for Rod Gardner and Darius Thompson to learn from Jacquez because of his knowledge of this system.
Now they bring in Donarian McCants, number 85, his first appearance. And in motion, Rock Cartwright, what a great name, out to the left. And here comes Matthews being chased, and he finds Rock Cartwright. And Cartwright is out of bounds, and a first down deep in 49er territory. The rookie from Kansas State picking up 18 that time.
Well, you'll see Rock Cartwright, number 40, go out in motion right there. What happens is Shane Matthews scrambles to the outside. The man who has him in coverage breaks on the ball. Rock Cartwright just slips down behind him. And you pointed out, Dick, what better name for a fullback than Rock?
Even Cartwright's not a bad name either. So a first down for the Redskins as the Cleveland Browns came back in overtime and beat the Tennessee Titans. The ball on the 15 of San Francisco. Long count. They get it off in time. Matthews going into the end zone, and it's overthrown. The wide receiver Darius Thompson. 16 seconds remaining in the first quarter, and the Redskins trailing by 7. Can't be happy with getting 3, looking to get the touchdown. The 10th play of the drive will be coming up.
Yeah, and a drive as efficient as they've been currently with this possession. Yeah, you have to get touchdowns, and that is what defenses, when they get into the red zone, the one thought that goes through their head is, okay, guys, let's hold them to a field goal. Don't let them score a touchdown.
They have Four wide receivers. They bring one back into the backfield, and the pass thrown underneath to Liddell Betts. And Liddell Betts gets to the 10-yard line. The rookie from Iowa, chosen on the second round by the Redskins, picking up 5 yards. And that'll bring up third down. The Redskins, to get a first down, have to get inside the 5. And that is the end of the first quarter. With the score, the 49ers 7, the Redskins nothing. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages. It's Derek Deese, who said that we are unquestionably fired up after the preseason game. You wonder why a preseason game would have the effect. 49ers felt they were embarrassed, but now they have to try to hold the Redskins, who have a third down and 5 on the 49er 10-yard line. Shane Matthews goes down at the 15-yard line. A good job done by the 49ers secondary, and it was Andre Carter who picks up the sack, and the field goal unit comes in.
Andre Carter's going to be down here on the bottom of your screen going against Chris Samuels. He beats him right there with a nice arm under. I tell you, that's impressive, because to me, Chris Samuels is one of the best tackles in the game right now, and he got around him very quick. That was a defensive front that was only rushing 3 players, dropping everybody else back in coverage. Not supposed to give up sacks in that situation.
James Tuthill, who was cut twice by the 49ers, attempting a 32-yard field goal, and it is perfect. So Tuthill, kicking with Brett Conway on injured reserve, puts the Redskins on the scoreboard. 12-play drive, but you know Steve Spurrier doesn't really care much for field goals, Moose.
No, he doesn't, and right there everything looks really, really good on that drive, except the results. 3 points instead of 7, and you can't do that. You go down the field, you control the clock, everything's going well, and then you kind of have a little bit of an emotional letdown because you only get 3 points out of it.
You could say you got something out of it as Jimmy Williams goes back, but that's not the way Steve Spurrier thinks, looking by the numbers he used to put up in Florida and in preseason this year. He wants the touchdown. So James Tuthill will kick off for the Redskins. It is a short kick, and Cedric Wilson retrieving on the 10-yard line. Make it Jimmy Williams, and Williams is stopped at the 28-yard line. So less than a minute gone by in the second quarter. 7-3 49ers, and we'll take a break.
Now
To make the tackle.
Right now, I'm seeing a much more improved Washington defense than we saw Monday night against the Philadelphia Eagles. And, you know, the way they played, unfortunately, there was a lot of room for improvement. But I think that they're gradually starting to accept Marvin Lewis's scheme, playing a very sound, fundamental, team-oriented defense.
And Darrell Green coming in, despite the fact there are still only 2 wide receivers lined up for the 49ers on second down and 8. Handoff to Kevin Barlow, and Barlow breaks one. He'll get the first down. Good run by Kevin Barlow. Darrell Green, who entered the game, makes the stop. And one thing they've got is a good change of pace between Barlow and Hurst.
They really are 2 very different styles of running back, and Kevin Barlow has the speed to get on the perimeter, but the size and the power to break tackles. And when we saw him on the practice field on Friday, you know, I thought he was Fred Beasley. I thought he was the fullback. He is a big, big running back.
I don't want to jinx things, but we did not have any penalties assessed yet in this game. The Redskins were called and for 1 penalty, and it was declined. Barlow going over the 100-yard mark. In his next carry, he is split wide to the right on first down, and there is Garcia going on a semi-fade. It's bobbled and dropped, and it was Terrell Owens and Fred Smoot with a jump ball situation, and it ended up falling on the turf.
Well, this is the matchup that the San Francisco 49ers have been waiting for. They've talked about being played in 2 deep zone coverages and not having the opportunity to get the ball down the field. But right there, Terrell Owens man-to-man against Fred Smoot, and the ball is underthrown. Fred comes back, becomes the guy that has the best shot at the ball. Terrell Owens does a nice job of breaking up that interception.
And he has a pretty healthy 4 or 5 inch height advantage on Fred Smoot to boot. I didn't know that was coming out. Here's the handoff to Garrison Hurst, and Hurst picking up about 6 yards. That is the bulldog formation that the 49ers like when they use Hurst and Barlow in the backfield at the same time. Darrell Green coming up to make the stop.
And I think we'll see quite a bit of that formation this afternoon as they spread out the defense of the Redskins, see how they want to defend either Garrison Hurst or Kevin Barlow out on the outside. Maybe they can find a mismatch in a passing game.
3rd down and 6 for the 49ers, who line up 3 receivers to the right. They're on the 44-yard line. And here is Garcia. And Garcia completes to Ty Streets. And he is leveled right away by Fred Smoot. And Streets did a great job of holding on to that ball.
We talked about the matchup with the receivers and the defensive backs for the Redskins. A big height advantage. But I tell you what, when you can hit this hard, it doesn't matter what your size is. That's a great hit by Fred Smoot. 2 big plays in that defensive series.
And Smoot saved the 1st down. The 49ers were a yard shy. So Jason Baker will be kicking, and Jacquez Green standing on the 10-yard line. 7-3 49ers lead. Redskins are still looking for their first solid field position, and a bad kick off the side of his foot, and it takes a 49er roll, and once again it'll be inside the 15-yard line. So the Redskins don't have much margin here as they trail 7-3. We'll be right back.
You see right there, the Washington Redskins worst at the NFL in the field position battle. Kind of the same situation this afternoon as they are continually backed up as they start their drives.
Starting their average on the own 16-yard line. They're on the 11 right now, and on 1st down, the handoff to Stephen Davis. And Davis, second effort, getting about 5 yards on the play.
And I think that this is very important for the Washington Redskins as we take a look right there to our own. You can see the frustration building. That's that heavy head that they talked about at the facility on Friday. The frustration, they've got to remain patient. They'll have an opportunity to make plays. They've just got to stay with their game plan.
2nd down and 5. And Matthews with play action. And he completes it to Davis. And Davis maybe short of a 1st down by a yard. Stopped by Jeff Ulbrich. Ulbrich, who had a knee injury, suffered against the Raiders in preseason, coming back and making his first appearance of the season. Very solid defensive performer for the 49ers. So it'll be 3rd and 1. Matthews, who was 5 for 7 on that last drive. Very accurate short to medium passer. In motion is Darius Thompson for Washington, and the handoff to Davis. He's not going to get there. In fact, will lose a yard, and a flag on the play. And it was Ulbrich who would not be moved. So we await the penalty call from referee Mike Carey.
There is no foul for holding against the offense, number 66. The runner did not get back to the line of scrimmage. 4th down.
So the Redskins try a run on 4th and 1. They lose a yard, and so now they will have to kick.
Well, that is one of the areas that you have to be able to execute, and Brendan Stein right there. I don't know. I always thought a hold was a hold. You know, I didn't realize that the guy.
No, if you don't get back to the line of scrimmage, no way. Now there's Jimmy Williams back deep. Brian Barker will kick. And the field position story is all for the red and gold, and I don't mean burgundy here. And here's Williams on the return. Good advancement by Williams, and Williams into Redskin territory and gets to the 37-yard line. Kenny Watson makes the tackle. So a fine return. It was not a bad punt by Barker, 44 yards, but Williams gets it back 31 as the 49ers are in solid position here.
Well, a lot of times on a punt return, a lot of it is the returner. He'll make a guy miss, and really just a great individual effort. But here, watch the blocks. Andre Lott gets sealed off right there, and there they come on that backside. They try to deal picket fence and get everybody on a man. I tell you what, from up here, Dick, that looked like that one was going to go just a little bit farther than it did.
1st and 10 at the 38. Last time I heard picket fence was the movie Hoosiers.
Yeah.
Another sport. Terrell Owens lined up to the top. Garrison Hurst in at running back for San Francisco, and the end around, and a pass attempt could be coming up now for Owens. He decides to run with it, and just looking for open spaces, he has them. Terrell Owens racing to the end zone. And Owens will get in for the touchdown. And no flags are down. 38 yards, and it was really more than 100 after he went laterally and went back the other way. And a spectacular play by the 49ers that looked like an option pass as they scored their second touchdown.
This is the amazing individual effort. This is a reverse pass. Terrell Owens wants to throw the ball right there. This is all his strength. Ronaldo Wynn, a defensive lineman. He shrugs him off. Now look at all the 49ers getting back into the play. Everybody on the opposite side of the field coming across and making blocks. Jeff Garcia downfield with a critical block on Sam Shade right at the end. And Terrell Owens high steps into the end zone. What a great individual effort by Terrell Owens.
38 yards and gets a rise out of this capacity crowd at San Francisco Stadium, and in essence he did run about 100 yards. Jose Cortez with the point after touchdown is good, and the 49ers lead 14-3, and this was the long run, the long journey by Terrell Owens as we take you to commercial. After his spectacular 38-yard run, but he's ready for it, Moose.
I tell you what, I don't know where he finds the energy during the course of the game. When you see how hard he works out in pregame, we watched him for 10 or 15 minutes. He did short routes, slants, double moves. He finished up with 2 50-yard go routes. And then to have the strength and endurance left to do that play, that is a physical specimen right there.
Liddell Betts returning the kickoff, and finally the Redskins have a decent starting point. They get it out to the 30-yard line. 14-3, San Francisco.
When Jeff Garcia usually contributes to a touchdown to Terrell Owens, he usually uses his arm to throw the ball, not his shoulder to throw a block. That's a great hustle and great effort by the quarterback, Jeff Garcia.
Let's see how the Redskins answer from their own 30-yard line. First down. Shane Matthews going on top, and Gardner, the receiver, and covered downfield, covered well by Jason Webster. That 38-yard run by Terrell Owens, the longest of his career rushing. That was the second rushing touchdown of his career. It probably took more out of him than any of the others.
It's a shame he only gets 38 yards for that.
9:04 left to play in the first half. Redskins again having to play catch-up. Second down and 10 at the 30. They've got Jacquez Green, one of the 3 wide receivers for Shane Matthews, and coming in motion. And here comes the rush. Matthews gets away. Now what does he do with it? And throws it out of bounds. And right now for a game break, let's return to Chris Myers in Los Angeles.
All right, Dick, at Ford Field, Joey Harrington, his first NFL start, but Brett Favre restored the touchdown pass, 4th on the all-time list, 292 of his career. It's now 14-10. Packers leading Detroit, second quarter. Back to Darrell and Dick.
All right, Chris, and of course the Packers coming back from a tough loss in New Orleans last week.
Yeah, I want you to watch Chris Samuels, the left tackle on Andre Carter. The quarterback will hold the ball longer. You talk about a guy finishing a block. He's right in the center of your screen. He is locked on to Andre Carter. He just drove him all the way back to the line of scrimmage.
Now they have to worry about Dana Stubblefield, who nearly came in all the way untouched. And welcome to the club. Chiki Okifor finds himself in the backfield of the Redskins, and a few words being exchanged.
Offside. Defense, number 91. Unabated to the quarterback. 5 yards, still third down.
So it is still third down for the Redskins, who are 1 of 4 in third down conversion.
Good job by Shane Matthews here, using a little bit of cadence. You see the center's head pop up. Chiki Okifor looking down the line of scrimmage. He got definitely a little bit early jump on that. 3rd and 5, much more manageable than 3rd and 10.
So it's third down and 15. Oh, it's third down and 5, and the play to Stephen Davis, picking up 12 yards on the play. Davis carrying close to midfield for the Redskins with nearly 8.5 minutes remaining. First down for the Redskins on the 47-yard line. Rock Cartwright, fullback going in motion to the right. Pressure on Matthews. Gets hit as he lets go of the ball, and a flag comes flying. Penalty flag down. Derek Smith, the former Redskin middle linebacker, now with the 49ers.
Holding. Offense number 60. Having to face national defender. 10 yards.
That's Chris Samuels, the left tackle.
He's your left tackle right here. He goes out on Julian Peterson. Derek Smith comes on the delayed blitz. He gets his hands to the face, but there's a big hit right in that left shoulder area on Shane Matthews by the former Redskin, Derek Smith.
And Derek Smith said that he's still wearing the shoulder pads that he wore when he played with the Redskins, and no love lost between Smith and his former team. First down and 20 coming up. Jamie Winborn, the 49er linebacker, probable. He's out of action right now with a bruised left knee. And the handoff to Davis. And Davis hit hard by Ulbrich after picking up a couple. And bringing up second down and long.
I think the one thing we're seeing this week that we didn't see on Monday night in the game is a little bit of patience shown by the Washington offense. They really felt that when they got behind 14-0 at almost the exact same point of the football game, that they had to press and get into it very quickly. Today we're seeing a little bit more patience, keeping Stephen Davis involved in the football game. That will be very important during the course of the day.
And here is Matthews, completes to Gardner, and a first down for the Redskins, and they spot the ball just shy of the stakes, so he does not get the first. But the Redskins do march into 49er territory in a gain of 16.
Just a nice package route over here on the side. The concept, Rod Gardner coming on the outside, just a simple curl route. Well thrown, well timed out pass play by the Washington offense.
Third down and 1 on the San Francisco 44. Matthews' numbers so far. Two tight ends lining up, and it's a running play. Davis, second effort, and it's going to be close.
Look at right here. There's nobody here in the defense, on the defensive line. I mean, it's third and short. This offense has the ability to move itself into a play that's going to take advantage of what the defense is given. I think they missed an opportunity right there, because that had to be a misalignment by the 49er defense. Either that or that's some great scouting and tendencies.
I'll go with the latter. Stephen Davis, before that carry, was averaging over 5 yards a rush. So Steve Spurrier has not abandoned that aspect of the attack. And the measurement, and it will be a first down for the Redskins on the 49ers 44. Jim Mora, he said, you know, my dad never lost to Steve Spurrier when they were coaches in the old USFL. Of course, Jim Mora Sr. won championships with the Philadelphia Stars, and Spurrier led the Tampa Bay Bandits a while back. First down with under 6.5. Matthews getting chased from behind, losing the ball, and it is picked up after a scramble, squirting away. And it was Julian Peterson or Andre Carter, the first one to get to Matthews. It was Carter, number 96. Spurrier with the headset off, shaking his head. If you look at him, you'd think that the Redskins lost the ball. We'll wait.
I think they got it back because the 49ers were trying to scoop it and score.
They did.
You miss an opportunity. Andre Carter comes from the backside. He's going to force the ball loose. Now the ball is bouncing. If you get over there and you get a nice Sunday hop up and catch it in stride, go ahead. But Julian Peterson, if it doesn't, you've got to just get down and get on the football. I mean, they have an opportunity to get the ball at the Redskins, inside the Redskins area, and Julian Peterson just, you know, he's got to be smart. You know, if that thing bounces right up to you on the run, sure, go ahead and grab it. But watch, he's going to sail right over the top of it.
They all want to become ball carriers like you were on occasion.
You got to secure the ball, you know, slide in, scoop it up. If you have the opportunity to get up and run with it, great. But it doesn't do any good if you don't scoop up the fumble.
Our producer Bob Stenner informs us that the ball is not round, so you never know when it is really going to bounce where you want it to. And a lot of people don't realize that.
Football's not round?
Yeah, it is not. It's an oblong shaped. I can't even say spheroid.
Elliptical.
Elliptical.
There it is, right there. It is not round.
Things you learn. Well, the Redskins recover, but the loss after all of that was 13 yards, and it is a quarterback sack for the Redskins. Second down and 23. Redskins have to get to the 49er 33. They're on their 44 right now, but Washington, they've got a long way to go. Matthews on the screen pass. Rock Cartwright. And Cartwright, hard to bring down, finally is stopped at the 45-yard line of the 49ers, picking up 11 yards. And Derek Smith and Jeff Ulbrich combined on the play.
Sounds like one of the Lost Brothers from Bonanza.
Yeah.
Ben and Little Joe and Rock Cartwright.
Rock Cartwright only 5'7", but weighs 237 pounds. From Kansas State, and picked on the last round. 7. Thompson in motion in the slot on 3rd down and 12. And Matthews gets good protection here, and the pass is going to be caught for the first down by Darius Thompson. So you give Matthews protection, he'll burn you, and the play is good for a first down, picking up 15.
Well, they're just keeping the 49ers defense off balance with the running game and their screens. So yeah, they're going to have an opportunity to get the ball downfield, and what it does is it slows down that pass rush of the San Francisco 49ers. You can't get one-dimensional in the NFL. If you're forced to just throw the ball down the field, you're in for a long afternoon.
Kenny Watson, who backs up Stephen Davis, is split wide to the right. We have not seen Davis in, and the handoff is to Jacquez Green on the end around. And Green will pick up about 4 yards with Derek Smith alertly chasing down Green on the play. In fact, when all is said and done, all Mr. Green collected was 1 yard.
Very good job defensively right there. A play we saw on film. Nice timing by the Washington Redskins to be able to snap that ball and get it to Jacquez Green on the move at full speed, but did not fool the San Francisco 49ers.
11th play of the drive coming up for the Redskins, who trail 14-3. Stephen Davis checking back in. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Matthews again with time, going underneath to Davis, breaking a couple of tackles, and I believe he has the first down inside the San Francisco 20. Ronnie Hurd making the tackle, and it is a Redskin first down.
One of the things we have to talk about is that center guard area of the Washington Redskins, an area that has been a concern and has taken a little bit of negative publicity during the course of the season. They're doing a very, very good job. This is 3 players from 3 different teams that came in last year. It's just going to take them a while to build their chemistry. They're going to be fine.
And even Brendan Stye's only been around a couple of weeks. 1st and 10 at the 20. And Matthews pass. Caught inside the 5 and a touchdown, Zeron Flemister. They didn't waste much time when they got to the 20 to get it in there, and Flemister inside the 5 goes in officially a 19-yard touchdown pass.
And here's that center guard area right here. David Laverne and Larry Moore battling with Dana Stubblefield. Brendan Stye gets a little help from Stephen Davis on Jim Flanagan. You have to have protection like that to have the time to find your receivers downfield. Good job by those guys in the middle.
So the extra point attempt, James Tuthill, who has already connected on a 33-yard field goal, and the extra point is good with 3:02 remaining in the first half. It is now 14-10 in favor of the 49ers. Zeron Flemister, who has caught 3 passes and 1 for a touchdown.
Here's Ron Flemister right here. Watch the coverage kind of just part like the Red Sea. Everybody forgets about the big tight end. He sneaks down the seam for a touchdown catch.
19-yard play, so the Redskins actually get their first touchdown in over a week. They did not get an offensive score last week. Green returning a punt for a touchdown, but Shane Matthews finding his target, and that was his 4th touchdown pass of the year.
I can't tell you how much I am impressed with the Washington Redskins performance. This is a team that played on Monday night and traveled all the way to the West Coast. I mean, they have got to be a little bit tired, and they have come out and started this game very, very well after a very short week.
Tuthill with the kickoff, and Cedric Wilson told to stay in. I think he stepped on the line. Williams wanted Wilson to stay in there. Instead, he had stepped on the line, committed himself, and actually ended up with more than the 49ers might have deserved, as he brings it out to the 17-yard line. So a mix-up of communications. Well, this October will be filled with spellbound days and mystical nights. Sports' biggest month comes to Fox. Baseball's Division Series kicks off with up to 124 hours of October's magical matchups, thrilling NFL showdowns, and exciting baseball playoff action. No other network will broadcast more sports in a single month this year than Fox. 49ers with just under 3 minutes to go in the first half. Starting from the 17, Garrison Hurst going outside. And Hurst, one of the great stories, coming back from leg problems, nearly forcing the end of his career, picks up 13.
Let's keep an eye on Cedric Wilson's foot. We'll see if he gets on that white line. He sure is right there. Take a look. He has broken the plane. Now, his momentum is carrying the ball out of the end zone, so he has to come out. If he was to go back in and take a knee and get tackled, that would be a safety for the Washington Redskins. Once his momentum carries the ball out, he's got to continue moving upfield.
Green Bay leading Detroit 17-10. First down on the 30-yard line. Garcia with a pump fake and a screen pass to Hurst. And a fine tackle made by Bruce Smith. By the way, playing for his 4th defensive coordinator in 4 years and holding that right hand as he comes off the field.
Nice hustle by Bruce Smith as he fights off the block of Derek Dees and gets back in on that screenplay.
So Smith in pain going to the bench, and we will have a break as well. 2-minute warning here at San Francisco Stadium at Candlestick Point. 49ers lead the Redskins by 4. Coming up on the Visa Halftime Report, scores and highlights from around the league, and the Fox Sports Ticker will keep you updated with up-to-the-second stats. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Both teams have 3 timeouts remaining. They're working on Bruce Smith's hand, and Ladarius Jackson has replaced him at defensive end.
See what happens on the end of this tackle right here. He's already grabbing it right there, so obviously in the process of making that tackle, and you can see all the heavy tape on it, so it looks like he's re-injured that finger.
Second down and 6 at the 34 for the Redskins, and Garcia's pass caught by J.J. Stokes as the clock continues to run. Well, I have to say one thing. You talked about the 49ers needing patience. You have to give credit to the Redskins for that very same thing after falling behind.
Well, maybe doing a better job than the 49ers at demonstrating patience, because they fell behind early like they did last week against the Philadelphia Eagles. Stayed with their game plan, kept pumping the ball to Stephen Davis, and I think that that's going to be something very critical if they're going to have success this afternoon.
And in all honesty, they couldn't go to Stephen Davis last week because they fell behind so early. They had to almost abandon that aspect of the game. Third down and 3 on the 49er 37-yard line, and stepping up is Garcia, and stepping to the first down up to the 42-yard line, and quickly the 49ers call their first timeout.
Derek Dees going up against Bruce Smith, who's back in the lineup.
30 seconds.
That'll be a nice battle all afternoon.
Can't keep him out for long. And there is Andre Carter going into the 49er locker room. He has both quarterback sacks for San Francisco today. Well, next week, Fox NFL Sunday begins with America's #1 pregame show as JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy get you ready for kickoff. And then the Cowboys try to slow down Marshall Faulk and the high-powered Rams. Or Warren Sapp and the hard-hitting Buccaneers take on Corey Dillon and the Bengals, or other regional action. Coverage begins at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on Fox. Jeff Garcia, and at some point we'll tell you about how highly rated he is as a quarterback after what he has achieved. You'll be very surprised at where he stands with the others. Garrison Hurst, the lone setback, 3 wide receivers on 1st and 10. Hand off to Hurst, gets an opening. Garrison Hurst, first down to the 45 of Washington. And the clock continues to run. The hurry-up offense for the 49ers. Pickup of 11 for Hurst. Go with the same formation. This time Garcia drills it. It's caught out of bounds. Stopping the clock. Ty Streets picking up another first down. A gain of 12 yards. 46 seconds remaining in the half.
Good execution on that play right there, but I like the previous play call. You know, not showing any panic, calling a running play in a situation with just over a minute to go. I've been very impressed by both offenses today. We talked about patience, and both units showing that they are going to stick with their game plans this afternoon.
And a 3-man defensive front for the Redskins on 1st and 10. Still 2 timeouts remaining as Garcia finds an open receiver. Did he hold on to it? He did. Stayed in bounds. Again, Ty Streets, this time 11. So they got 23 yards and 2 passes on the same play to Ty Streets.
And there must be something over there that they like in the matchup with Ty Streets and Fred Smoot. He gets him running right there. Fred is playing off very, very far. I don't know if he's waiting for a double move or just not letting anybody get behind him in this position right here. But he is giving up a big cushion to Ty Streets.
And LeVar Arrington lining up in a pass rushing stance with 43 seconds to go. Handoff. And a pickup of about 7 yards that time to Garrison Hurst. And now the 49ers call a timeout. So they have really used clock management very well in this drive move.
I tell you what, and you see some teams that just really do a poor job of clock management when they get into 2-minute situations. The complete opposite for the 49ers here. We've seen 2 running plays called. They go back-to-back to a nice matchup that they find on the outside. So a very nice job so far in this 2-minute situation.
And on the Fox News channel, the O'Reilly Factor looks at America's war on terror with increased protesting over an attack on Iraq. Will the president face a major PR battle, or will Americans back his plan? Watch the O'Reilly Factor. It's news as a contact sport on the Fox News channel. Check your local listings. Well, good balance today. Practically even with the rush to the pass. Hurst has averaged nearly 7 yards a carry thus far in 9 rushes. 2nd down and 3 for the 49ers on the Redskins 16. 36 seconds remaining in the first half. Garcia looking to throw, and the pass is incomplete. Garrison Hurst, the intended receiver, stops the clock with 32 seconds. The 49ers already in field goal range.
But the 49ers are the team that kind of started the red zone philosophy of touchdowns and checkdowns. And just like the Redskins, they're not going to want to settle for field goals right here. As efficient as this drive has been, it's very important for them to answer Washington's scoring drive and get a touchdown.
And the tight end Eric Johnson goes up wide to the left here on 3rd down and 3. And Johnson coming in motion to the slot. Here's Garcia trying to get out of trouble, and he gets the pass, and it's caught. First down to Garrison Hurst to the 5-yard line. An 11-yard pickup. Jeremiah Trotter on the tackle. No huddle. Still with 1 timeout left, and they spike the ball to stop the clock at 15 seconds. Hurst, a big factor in this offense for the 49ers today.
Well, the Redskins are getting a lot of push up front. Daryl Gardner, who has missed the first 2 games, doing a nice job, but that's just a great ad-lib by Jeff Garcia. I don't know how he got the ball to Garrison Hurst. It looked like he shot-putted it out there to him.
And it gets done. So he said, look, just watch what I've done in my career. I get it done. Still facing those that are skeptical about his abilities. And no one should be at all. Those are his numbers. 10 of 16, 84 yards. Second and goal at the 5. Garcia with time can pick his way, and it's knocked down. A good defensive play made by Jeremiah Trotter. And Steve Mariucci's offense now looking at 3rd and goal, leading by 4 points.
Well, with that additional timeout that they saved by spiking the ball, they can throw the ball in the middle of the field. That's what they're trying to do right there. Jeremiah Trotter, a nice job. A big guy who's normally a run stopper, matching up man-to-man with Eric Johnson, the tight end, with a good defensive play to knock it away.
So it's 3rd and goal at the 5. And Garcia firing to the 2-yard line, and it was intended for Hurst, but Champ Bailey was with him step for step. And that brings up 4th down, and a flag has been thrown at the 5-yard line. Redskins pointing, indicating it may be against the 49ers. And here's Mike Carey.
Holding. Offense, number 63. 10 yards. It remains 3rd down.
So they get another play out of it as Steve Spurrier sees the call. Derek Deese holding for the 49ers. And they'll set the ball back to the 15. 3rd and goal.
Well, it really doesn't matter. It's just going to make the field goal a little bit longer. The attempt with 4 seconds left, the San Francisco 49ers, not enough time on the clock to take a shot into the end zone. They've got to take the points and line up for the field goal.
This will be a 33-yard attempt by Jose Cortez. And Cortez kick is good as time runs down. 49ers, who have never trailed in this game, now have opened up a 17-10 lead as we come to intermission. That is the end of the first half with the score. San Francisco 17, Washington 10. Fox NFL Sunday will continue with the Visa halftime report after these.
NFL fans want to be.
Hi, Chris Myers in Los Angeles, in for JB and the guys, along with Tony Siragusa and Michael Irvin. This is the Visa halftime report. Hope you're enjoying the Redskins 49ers. San Francisco running the ball well, 131 yards rushing in the first half. A little bit of defense in this one. Seattle leading the Giants by the score of 6-0. Trent Dilfer leading the way for Seattle. Check out Joey Harrington starting against Brett Favre in the pack. Brett Favre with his touchdown pass, 292 at his career, ranks him 4th all-time behind Marino, Tarkenton, and Elway. But Joey Harrington at Ford Field, a little excursion for the rookie, his first NFL touchdown pass as he leads the Lions back into a tie with the pack as they are just nearing the end of the first half. Elsewhere in the later games in Denver, Clinton Portis from Miami, a touchdown run. Denver leads Bledsoe and Buffalo. LaDainian Tomlinson, a couple of touchdowns. The Chargers in front of Arizona. Aaron Brooks, 3 touchdown passes. The Saints come from behind to go to now 3-0. For the Eagles, they wipe out Dallas 44-13. 3 touchdown passes for Donovan McNabb. Sorry about that, Michael.
Yes,
the
sir.
Panthers are 3-0, and the Vikings are 0-3. Culpepper intercepted 3 times. Ricky Williams over 150 yards. Miami finally beats the Jets. And in overtime, it takes an Adam Vinatieri field goal. The Patriots hold off Kansas City. Tom Brady over 400 yards passing. Tim Couch leading the Browns back from 2 touchdowns down to defeat Tennessee, and Peyton Manning and the Colts over the Texans by the score of 23-3. Terrell Owens involved, no touchdown catch, but he did have that nice run when it looked like he was going to throw.
Yes, and Steve Mariucci doing a good job, just trying to keep him involved. He only has 1 catch on the day. Frustration can set in, so he puts him on a reverse. He makes a nice run. He's the best athlete on the team. You got to keep the ball in his hand.
Definitely. And Tony, word out this week that Daniel Snyder met with Pepper Rogers complaining about Marvin Lewis and the Redskin defense before this game.
Listen, the thing about Marvin Lewis is not out on the field making tackles, missing tackles, not putting pressure on the quarterback. You got to get your guys. I mean, they have great guys. Bruce Smith, Trotter, Arrington. You guys got to get fired up. If they're not going to go out there and do what they're supposed to do, it's going to look bad on Marvin Lewis. Good luck, Marvin.
You got to put him in position to win.
Right now, it's tight. If the Niners get out in front, will they run it up? Let them continue to argue. Local news and more highlights coming up here on Fox. Thanks for watching. Continuing with the Visa Report, I'm Chris Myers. Let's check out action from Week 3 around the NFL. Battle of unbeaten Saints and Bears in Champaign, Illinois. Jim Miller, one of his 2 touchdown passes. Chicago builds a 20-0 lead. Aaron Brooks rallies the Saints. 3 touchdown passes. The rookie, Dante Stallworth. Nice move to give the Saints the advantage. Just over a minute left. Jim Miller moves the Bears downfield, but Sammy Knight with the interception saying goodnight to Chicago winning the close games. The Saints are 3-0. Emmitt Smith, he did break the rushing attempt record held by Walter Payton. He's still 362 yards away, though, from breaking Walter Payton's all-time rushing record. 11 carries, 52 yards against the Eagles. Donovan McNabb was more worried about winning the game. Breaking loose, throwing one of his 3 touchdown passes. This to former Packer Antonio Freeman. McNabb also ran for a score as the Eagles wipe out Dallas 44-13. Minnesota trying for its first win of the year. Dante Culpepper intercepted 3 times, forcing the ball to Randy Moss and seen yelling at Moss on the sidelines. In the meantime, Rodney Peete, the veteran for Carolina, who came in as the NFC's leading passer, flipping to Steve Smith to tie the game, and then Lamar Smith in the 4th quarter icing it for the Panthers. One of his 2 touchdowns. He had over 150 yards rushing, and Carolina is 3-0, the Vikings winless. Jets and Miami. The Dolphins trying to end that 8-game losing streak to the Jets, and look at Ricky Williams go. Over 150 yards, the longest touchdown run of his career. Miami over New York 30-3. The Patriots into overtime with Kansas City. Adam Vinatieri, a 35-yarder, the game winner. Over 400 yards passing for Tom Brady. Troy Brown, 16 catches in that game. I'm Chris Myers in Los Angeles. Back to your game on Fox after this.
For the second half here at Candlestick, with the score 17-10 in favor of the 49ers. And at intermission, Ron Pitts caught up with 49er head coach Steve Mariucci on his way to the locker room.
All right, Coach, just a kind of back and forth game. I'm sure you expected. The best thing is you guys have been able to run the ball. You're over 100 yards, over 6 yards a carry.
Well, we popped a couple draws, and we're trying to establish the run a little bit. We need to do that. We've always done that before. And we need to complete passes. That was a good drive at the end. I wish we could have come out of it with 7 instead of 3.
All right, so I would say he ran the ball, Moose. 132 yards rushing in the first half, and that could open up a lot of things. Your assessment of what the 49ers accomplished?
Well, I don't think they should start patting themselves on the back right away. The 1 touchdown, an incredible individual effort by Terrell Owens. The other one, a short drive because of a turnover created by the defense. So right now, they're running the ball well, but you take away those 2 big plays, they're in a dogfight right now.
What about the Redskins getting back into the game? They kind of stabilized after their problems early on.
They have really had to go the long route on their drives. They've started off with very poor field position, have been able to string together some nice drives. A similar situation to the 49ers. They've got to get touchdowns, not field goals, when they get in the red zone.
Okay, so getting ready for the second half, and the Redskins will get the ball first. Jose Cortez will kick off for San Francisco, and there is Kenny Watson, who's back deep for the Redskins. Jaquez Green flanks him as well. Both of these teams coming off of embarrassing, humiliating losses last week. Someone is going to be despondent come tomorrow if they lose this game. And right now it's anyone's game. Jaquez Green returning the second half kickoff. And he is halted at the 24-yard line. And when they came out for the second half, Ron Pitts caught up with the Redskins head coach Steve Spurrier.
All right, Coach, you guys are down by 7. What were the main concerns going into halftime for the team?
Hopefully we won't let them start, down there close. We've had to go the long way. We've had 2 drives, got 10 points. They basically really had just 1 drive, and Terrell Owens made that play. Yeah. So hopefully we can not give them anything and hopefully we'll get something.
Yeah, Shane Matthews.
All right, so it'll be 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line. Shane Matthews and the handoff to Stephen Davis, so they spread him out, but Davis can only get a couple thanks to Jeff Ulbrich, and Steve Spurrier said that he thought Shane Matthews had played well in that first half.
He really has. He's made good decisions, thrown the ball well, and they have stayed with the running game. But a nice play here by Jeff Ulbrich. Watch him fight off the block of Larry Moore and get in there on the tackle. That's one of the things that they'll have to work on to be able to run the ball effectively the second half, staying on their blocks and finishing them.
2nd down and 7. Brian Johnson, the fullback, in motion. And there's Matthews going deep and overthrowing Ron Gardner. And he was covered well downfield. Let's take a look at the halftime statistics. We mentioned the impressive rushing by the 49ers.
It's something they have to incorporate into their game plan more. They kind of got out of balance the first 2 weeks. And also, you know, the big play there that the coach Steve Spurrier talked about, the individual effort by Terrell Owens really helping their day. But, yeah, keep in mind, that bottom thing to me is the most important. Almost a 20-yard difference in starting field position.
3rd down and 7. And again, the fullback Johnson goes in motion, and the pass thrown underneath to Darius Thompson, short of the first down by a yard. And the Redskins will have to kick. I noticed that 3.9 yards a rush for the Redskins. That's not what Jim Mora wanted. He wanted better than that.
No, he shoots to have them under 3 yards per carry in the run game. And there's been some nice big runs by Stephen Davis that have helped them get to that number. But they've got to be a little bit more consistent in their run game. But that is something that Jim Mora is going to probably address with his team during the course of this second half.
Brian Barker will do the punting, and Jimmy Williams is back. Good kick by Barker. Williams to his 11. This is where special teams could play a big role for the Redskins, and they cover well. Nary a return. Back to the 20. We'll be right back. Here's a surprise. Tim Rattay, the backup quarterback to Jeff Garcia, on the field right now, with the 49ers getting set for their first possession of the second half. Let's go down to Ron Pitts.
The problem with Jeff Garcia is that he's in the locker room. He's getting an IV. In fact, he's coming out right now. Remember, in the beginning of the game, we talked about the 49er players that have come down with that stomach virus. Well, these guys have had to get the fluids back in their system and the minerals, and that's exactly what Jeff Garcia was doing. But he should come back in after this series.
Well, you were right on top of that, Ron, from the very start. And Jeff Garcia misses one play, and now he's going to just loosen up and get his bearings back, I would think, Moose, before he enters the game.
Yeah, the San Francisco 49ers offense finished the first half on the football field with that field goal drive, and we didn't see anything that indicated that Jeff Garcia was hurt. But, yeah, I had good information from Ron Pitts, the fact that there were several members of this football team suffering from a stomach virus. Jeff Garcia, obviously one of those.
After Hurst picked up 2, 2nd down and 8. Tim Rattay, at quarterback, in his first pass is a completion about 3 yards shy of the first down to the tight end Eric Johnson. And everyone looking to the sideline. Send me in, coach, is what Jeff Garcia is waiting for the word.
Looks as though Tim Rattay is going to get a chance to complete this opening series right here.
I think the big question is, will Jeff Garcia ever get his job back now after Rattay, tongue-in-cheek, I might add. 3rd down.
Dick Stockton starts a quarterback controversy in San Francisco.
3rd down and 2. And here's Rattay, and the pass knocked away, and a flag is down. Champ Bailey made a terrific play on Terrell Owens, but they're going to call the flag against the 49ers. Mike Carey, and it appears to be holding against San Francisco.
Holding. Offense number 74 is declined. 4th down.
Dave Fiore, the left guard, holding, so Redskins will get the ball back.
He's going to be at your left guard going up against Bruce Smith. You see right there comes that left hand, and then he just keeps working it. Nice job of form tackling by Dave Fiore.
So Jason Baker will kick it away, and Jacquez Green back deep. One punt return, 4 yards. Far cry from the big 90-yard burst against the Eagles on Monday night. And here's Green on the run. Jacquez Green could give the Redskins good field position. And it will be their best of the day by far as he returns it to the 46-yard line after the 36-yard punt. Back here at San Francisco Stadium at Candlestick Point, Dick Stockton, Darrell Johnston, Ron Pitts. First down for the Redskins on their own 46. Easily their best starting field position of the day. Shane Matthews trying to swing it out to Stephen Davis to no avail. Shane Matthews has completed 15 of 22 for 156 yards, has a touchdown pass, and his quarterback rating is 108 plus. Well, that's way more than what Jim Moore is looking for.
Yeah, he really takes a hard look at those two groups, the average yards per carry, which is above what they like to hold teams to, and now that quarterback rating well above what they want their quarterback to be doing. So not a great start for this San Francisco defense as they get into the second half.
2nd and 10. 3 wide receivers and an audible called, and that's what Shane Matthews has the freedom to do, and the pass thrown underneath to Davis, and Davis is 5 yards short of the first down. Matthews holding on to his right hand. What about the freedom, because you can see the play was changed, Darrell?
Well, he comes into the line of scrimmage, and you can see him right there as he's echoing the play out to his wide receivers. He has the ability to move the play to something that attacks the defense better. And you see right there, hitting his hand as he finishes that throw. We'll keep an eye on that throwing hand, make sure that that's not a problem for Shane.
Out of the shotgun on 3rd and 5. Here comes the safety blitz and the pass, and a flag down off the shoulder pad of Zeron Flemister, who was not looking for that toss. And if Flemister had turned around, I think he could have caught that ball. And they're going to call the Redskins for an illegal block at the line, apparently. Mike Carey.
Personal foul. Chop block by number 48 of the offense is declined. He went low while the teammate had another going high. Decline, 4th down.
So Stephen Davis, the old high-low, and now on 4th down, Brian Barker will kick, and Jimmy Williams back deep for the 49ers. With a punt that goes into the end zone for the touchback, and the 49ers will get it out at the 20-yard line. No scoring yet, less than 5 minutes gone by in the 3rd. Shane Matthews talking to his offensive cohorts. The 49ers with the ball, leading 17-10. Jeff Garcia back in the game at quarterback. Kevin Barlow is his running back, and he carries for the 4th time today, and carries nicely beyond the 30-yard line for the first down. Champ Bailey, after the 12-yard pickup, making the tackle.
Well, the 49ers find themselves in a kind of an interesting dilemma, having two very, very good running backs. And we talked to them on Friday and tried to get a feel. What's your feeling about the running back committee approach? And Jeff Garcia said it was nice to have him in. Kevin Barlow is always ready to go. He's always high energy, wanting the ball, and Garrison kind of slowly builds his way into the football game. So, you know, it's kind of a luxury, but you always wonder if either guy will ever reach his potential that he could have had during the course of the game.
Barlow doesn't get much. In fact, Steve Mariucci was telling us that when he was an assistant coach at the University of California, and later he was a head coach with the Bears, they had 2 running backs who each gained 1,000 yards in one season, so he has seen it work in the past.
And I think you have to really use this plan when you have a guy like Garrison Hurst who's coming off that career-threatening ankle injury. I think it prolongs his career by not getting the snaps, and we've seen today the Bulldog package where both of them are on the field at the same time, so they're doing some different things to get them on the field together.
2nd down and 9. The 49ers 33-yard line. San Francisco was rushed extremely well, but this will be a pass and a flag down as Garrison Hurst on the receiving end did not get the first down out of bounds, pending the penalty to be announced by Mike Carey. An ineligible receiver downfield is the preliminary call by Carey.
Well, that was a screen pass, and the timing got disrupted. So this is the end result when it doesn't go as planned.
Ineligible receiver number 62 is downfield. 5-yard penalty remains, second down.
Jeremy Newberry's your center. He's right there in front of Jeff Garcia. You'll watch as the play rolls. Ifeanyi Ohalete, number 26, comes in and plays Garrison Hurst, and you can see Jeremy's way downfield right here at the top of your screen. So when the timing of the screen gets disrupted, very little chance that you're not going to have one of those big guys that sneak downfield a little bit early.
Penalties, a big problem for the 49ers coming into this game. Only 5 teams have been penalized more than San Francisco. It really hurt their chances a week ago. So it's second down and 14. And here's Garcia ducking under and running and diving to the 33-yard line. He's still going to be about 7 or 8 yards shy of the first down. Armstead and Arrington, 2 of the linebackers in on the play, a pickup of 6.
Well, the Washington Redskins talked about how important it was to have Daryl Gardner back on their defensive line, and he was quick off the ball that time with the penetration. I think that was a called quarterback draw, but he still almost disrupted it with his quick penetration. So good to see him back on the field. Hopefully those back problems are a thing of the past.
And Marvin Lewis, who engineered those great defenses when the Ravens won the Super Bowl, trying to dial up the right number on 3rd down and 8 against the 49ers, and he does, and the pass is picked off by Champ Bailey. And let's see if they rule it an interception or whether it's an incomplete pass. The Redskins offensive team coming in onto the field and slow getting up is Dave Fiore, and now they're going to decide whether it hit the ground or whether it was picked off. It does not look like he had control. Wow.
Well, if I'm Steve Mariucci, I'm going to throw that red flag out there as soon as possible.
Because that one was questionable for Martin. There it is. The telling red flag coming from the head coach.
Well, you know, they've got the buzzer on their hip, too, but do both just in case. Work that buzzer, but get that flag out there as fast as you can, too.
So the first challenge of the day, Terrell Owens was the intended receiver, but he never really had a chance for it. It was all going to be Champ Bailey or an interception or an incomplete.
The ruling on the field is an interception is being challenged by San Francisco.
And clearly the replay showed that the ball hit the ground. Now, if Champ Bailey has possession of the ball and the ball comes into contact with the ground but doesn't aid him in creating possession, it is still a catch. But he never had possession of that football. You saw Champ Bailey get up and get off the field real quick. You saw the offense of the Redskins coming on the field real quick. They were hoping to get that ball snapped before Steve Mariucci could get his challenge out there.
I think Champ Bailey knows.
Oh, he knows.
I think he knows.
Well, I think they all knew. He's running off the field going, hurry up, guys, get out there and get that ball snapped.
It was clear from our viewpoint anyway that Champ Bailey did not have possession of that ball. I don't think at any time.
The ball can go out and hit the ground as long as it doesn't aid in you gaining possession of the football. And this one's not even close, because he actually, if he loses possession right there, he's got, you know, the one hand bounces off. He loses possession. Not only did the ground not help him gain possession, it actually made him lose possession. So that will be overturned.
And remember the key word, indisputable visual evidence, and there's no question that it is indisputable, from our viewpoint anyway.
You could just go ask
we don't count.
Champ won't lie to you.
Mike Carey, of course, will make the ultimate decision. Niners leading 17-10. Twice the Redskins have come within 4 points of the 49ers, who scored first 7-3 and then 14-10. Most spectacular play, Terrell Owens with a 38-yard end around for a score. So Mike Carey will give us the word, and the crowd will give us the word right after Mike does, for sure.
After reviewing the play, the defender never had control before the ball hit the ground. Incomplete pass, fourth down on the 34-yard line. Please put 8:26 on the game clock. San Francisco will not be charged with a timeout.
So the 49ers still have 3. Steve Spurrier's Redskins have 3. And Jeff Garcia back to the bench, and on 4th down. 4th down and 8. Jason Baker will be kicking for the 5th time. And Jacquez Green going back deep. So a possible interception goes by the boards on a challenge. You see the Packers leading the Lions 24-17 in the opening game at Ford Field. Our pregame crew is out at Ford Field for that opening, the inaugural, for the Detroit Lions in their new home. High kick and the ball bounces. Got to make sure it doesn't bounce off. And a flag is down. A 49er picked it up. And it was Jimmy Williams who recovered the ball, but a flag is down, so we'll hold everything. If it deflected off a Redskin.
Yeah, but I think we're going to have fair catch interference before it bounced off Jacquez Green. So that should give the ball back to the Washington Redskins. The big question is, did Fred Smoot push the 49er cover man into Jacquez Green?
And you're right.
Terry Jackson down there on the punt coverage. He just gets inside that circle. But the big question
Did he call for the fair catch?
Yeah, he was signaling for fair catch, but the big question is, did Fred Smoot kind of give him a little shove in the back that didn't give him the opportunity to avoid Jacquez Green? And that could be what they're discussing right now.
This is a huge call coming up right now in this game, because if the 49ers somehow get it back, here it is.
That's Darrell Green working on Jimmy Williams. That's a nice job of coverage, but here's our play down the bottom of the screen. It obviously hits Jacquez Green, and it will be San Francisco ball if there is no fair catch interference. The question to me is, was the push in the back the reason that Terry Jackson kind of got a little bit too close to Jacquez Green? And I think that's what the discussion here is, and why this is taking a little bit longer.
So it's strictly a judgment call. And here's the result of the judgment.
There is no foul for interference with the opportunity. Both players were engaged in a block. Therefore, there's no foul. First down. Timeout.
Wow, it's saying, wait, it should be our ball if that's the case, because we recovered it. That's what Steve Mariucci is saying. We'll be back. Back here in San Francisco, and controversy still reigns. Mike Carey, the referee, moments ago said that the ruling on the field stands because the ball did not touch a member of the receiving team, but in the replay it looked like it brushed off the body of Jacquez Green.
Well, they've cleared up fair catch interference. You can see it hit him right there, right on the 8. It hits him right on the top of the 8. That is what they're looking at now. They ruled on the field that it did not touch the Washington Redskin return man, so it would be Washington ball where San Francisco recovered it, what they're saying on the field, down the ball. So right now, Mike Carey, the referee, is looking at the replay monitor to find out if it did in fact touch Jacquez Green, which would make it San Francisco's ball at the 32-yard line. And I tell you what, those are two phenomenal challenges by Steve Mariucci, because he takes the ball out of Washington's hand in his part of the field and gets it back from Washington in their part of the field.
2 challenges in a row, and Mariucci may win them both. Mike Carey examining the evidence right now, and this could be a very pivotal call in this game. Did it touch Jacquez Green? Did the ball touch it?
Right here, watch as it goes up right at the top of the 8, right there. You can kind of see it bounce. It's actually bouncing away from him also. So
definitely did from our viewpoint and yours. I don't know if that's ever happened in this league when we've had back-to-back challenges by the same team in different situations. Well, here is Mike Carey. One to get the ball back.
After reviewing the play, the ball hit the receivers, making it live for the kicking team. Recovered on the 36-yard line.
So the muff by Jacquez Green. Jimmy Williams recovers, and the crowd erupts to the disdain of Steve Spurrier, who used to play for this team, the 49ers. Back in the late 60s and early 70s, and the 49ers will get the ball on the 32-yard line of the Redskins, leading 17-10. So the key numbers: San Francisco 17, Washington 10, Mariucci 2, Spurrier nothing.
Well, there's your examples for the proponents of instant replay right there, because you go from having the Redskins with an interception inside the 49ers 40-yard line to the 49ers having the ball just outside Washington's 30-yard line on a fumble. So everybody who is against instant replay, you can see the impact that it can have on a football game right there.
Dave Fiore leaving the game at left tackle, and Eric Heitman, a rookie from Stanford, who has been banged up himself, has come into the game at left guard. It'll be 1st and 10 for the 49ers on the Redskin 32. Garrison Hurst in at running back, 3 wide receivers. Hurst, nothing doing, and LeVar Arrington right there. And right now for a game break, let's return to Chris Myers in Los Angeles. Chris.
All right, thanks, Dick. You mentioned a moment ago the Packers went in front. It was this touchdown pass from Brett Favre to Robert Ferguson. So Green Bay now leads it. 160 straight starts for Favre. It's 1 in a row for Joey Harrington.
All right, Chris, thanks very much. The Packers trying to get back on track. Both of these teams, in effect, are after their tough losses a week ago. And the 49ers have the edge, leading by 7, 2nd and 10 on the Washington 32. Garcia looking to put it in the air, has a lot of time, going to the end zone, and the pass may be picked off by Champ Bailey, and he does. Bailey intercepts the pass intended for J.J. Stokes, and the Redskins dodge a bullet and will get it back on their 20.
Well, we talked to Jeff Garcia on Friday, and he really felt that the 2 interceptions that he has thrown this year were the results of an impatient play. And here is a perfect example of that. This is a play-action pass designed to get the ball down the field, but you cannot take what's not there. It's not a one-on-one situation where it's a jump ball. J.J. Stokes versus Champ Bailey. There's help over the top with the safety. Impatience again foils the 49ers.
Champ got this one, didn't get the other.
Every week, Golf Australia.
That's Champ Bailey, and that's his 2nd interception of the season, giving the Redskins the ball on their own 20. Brian Johnson in motion to the left. Stephen Davis is going to lose yardage, and it's going to be Andre Carter. Well, it's been a crazy quilt last several minutes, Darryl.
Yeah, and it's going to be very, very important for the San Francisco 49ers defense to get a 3-and-out right here, because what just happened was the Washington Redskins had the ball in 49er territory. That was taken away from them. Then they thought they had it in their end. That was given to the 49ers. Their defense came out and made a great play. Got the ball back for the offense. It's on San Francisco defense's shoulder right now to force a 3-and-out.
2nd down and 11. And here's Matthews, and trying to get it to Thompson. That was was the closest receiver in the neighborhood. Incomplete.
Bryant Young getting in some pressure right there. A nice little swim move, getting in with a hit right on Shane Matthews at the end there. And that's one thing we haven't seen. We haven't seen a lot of pressure from the 49ers defense, except from Andre Carter on the outside. Dana Stubblefield, Bryant Young, they've got to get some more push up into the middle of that pocket.
Well, the Redskins doing better on third downs. 4 of 9 on third downs. Tim Rattay warming up. He was in for one series. And here out of the shotgun is Shane Matthews, and this pass intended for Green, incomplete. And covered on the play by Mike Rumpf, the rookie from Miami. So the Redskins will have to punt, and the 49ers have delivered as Moose said they had to there. Let's go down to Ron Pitts.
Well, guys, it appears as though backup quarterback Tim Rattay will be going in the game. A few minutes ago, head coach Steve Mariucci walked over to Jeff Garcia, had a long talk with him, patted him on the shoulder. That's when Garcia put the old hat on, and that's not a good sign for a quarterback. We could see Tim Rattay here in this next series. Dick?
All right, Ron. Jimmy Williams bringing the ball back to midfield. So the 49ers hold, and will get the ball in good field position.
He wants a change in quarterback to try and jumpstart this offense, because we're seeing Jeff Garcia on the sideline wearing a ball cap. If he's feeling the effects of that virus, I think they would send him back into the locker room.
Second down and 6 on the 46 of the Redskins. 49ers leading by 7, and the pass caught by the tight end Eric Johnson close to the first down, and he may have enough for the first down.
Well, you see right there, Steve Mariucci is talking to Jeff Garcia. Obviously, the decision has been made, and we're seeing Tim on the field. The only question is, what was the impetus of that decision? The play of Jeff Garcia or the health of Jeff Garcia? And we'll try and keep working on that. But with Jeff Garcia being on the sideline, I think that Steve just wanted to make a change at quarterback.
Doesn't look like a happy camper is Jeff Garcia right now. He's completed 10 of 19 for only 84 yards and an interception. Here is Rattay, and Rattay going deep for Terrell Owens. And Owens had it in his hands, it appeared, and could not hold on. Rattay going for the downs on that pass. Coverage by Fred Smoot. And that will bring up second down.
Well, this is what we talked about earlier in the game. The fact that they talked about zone coverage. They move it, have a double move on. Terrell Owens has got a chance to make a great play. And that is something that we've seen from him over the first 2 weeks of the season. He has had 5 drops up until this point. Very uncharacteristic for Terrell Owens. And right there, a drop in the end zone for a touchdown pass.
He's only caught 1 pass today for 17 yards, but has run for a score, 38. And the handoff to Garrison Hurst. And Hurst on the quick hitter, getting a first down, close to the 20-yard line. 17-yard pickup for Garrison Hurst, who's having a big day today for the 49er ground attack. Jesse Armstead and David Terrell combined to bring Hurst down.
And not only a quick hitter, but on a quick count, kind of caught the Washington Redskins not quite ready. A little crack right there on Jeremiah Trotter. Garrison Hurst was through that hole in a hurry. I think they actually did catch that Redskins defense not quite ready for the snap.
Garrison Hurst now with 79 yards and 12 carries. He gets a breather. Kevin Barlow checking in, and Barlow gets the call and tries a little cut back and picks up 2 yards with Armstead in on the play as we wind down to 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Well, they've been trying to get the ball to T.O., as they call him, Terrell Owens, and he has been double covered, and he was a bit there, but he was definitely free.
Well, that's a play that they've been setting up all game. We saw the little quick outs at the end of the half on Fred Smoot with J.J. Stokes and Ty Streets. That was the double move that was going to come off that, and they thought that they could get one on Fred Smoot.
Here is the handoff to Kevin Barlow. Short of the first down by about 3.5 yards as we check in again with Ron Pitts.
Well, Dick, the word down here on the sidelines regarding Jeff Garcia is that strictly illness. That's the reason he's been pulled out. Now, he did look a little sluggish, or I should say a lot sluggish there in the first half, walking in and out of the huddle. But the word from the sidelines right now, the effects of that stomach virus, just a little too much. I'm sure that's what the conversation with Steve Mariucci was. And we'll see Tim Rattay in probably for the rest of the game. Okay?
All right, Ron, that's really an interesting scenario now with Tim Rattay Now shouldering the burden of this 49er offense and trying to at least keep their advantage. Stoppage of the clock. They had to adjust the play clock. 3rd down and 3 coming up. Thus far, Rattay has completed 2 of 4 attempts for 13 yards. Garrison Hurst back in. Hurst, and great play by Darrell Gardner, who's had back spasms, unable to play against the Eagles, but he snuffs out Hurst for a 2-yard loss.
Boy, and he has really been a difference today. You see how quick he is off the ball and upfield immediately, beating Jeremy Newberry inside. I tell you, the improvement of this defensive play this afternoon, you can really draw it to one guy, and now we know why Marvin Lewis was so excited to have him back on the field.
So that'll bring in Jose Cortez. This will be a 35-yard field goal attempt. And Cortez's kick good, just made it the right goal post, and it's now 20-10 San Francisco. Back here at the Candlestick, Terrell Owens thinking of what might have been, and always an animated player on the sidelines.
Well, there's some people that have been waiting for the old Terrell Owens to come out, and we're seeing a little bit of that frustration right there. And you know, I think a lot of people feel that he needs that to keep him motivated out here. There was an article in the paper this morning that I read that talked about Terrell Owens. Get back to that, but here's the story on that drive. Darrell Gardner, he just disrupted a 3rd and short play. He has made a huge difference in this defensive front for the Washington Redskins this afternoon.
Kick into the end zone for the touchback, and he in effect saved the 1st down, and maybe it would have been 7, so the Redskins stay within arm's reach, trailing now 20-10. Well, this October will be filled with spellbound days and mystical nights. Sports' biggest month comes to Fox. Baseball's Division Series kicks off with up to 125 hours of October's magical matchups. With thrilling NFL showdowns and exciting baseball playoff action, no other network will broadcast more sports in a single month this year than Fox Sports. 1st down on the 20-yard line for the Redskins, trailing 20-10. 2:12 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Shane Matthews dropped by Stephen Davis, wide open, and a flag is down, and Davis was hit. Roughing the passer, and an automatic 1st down coming up for the Redskins.
Well, it's going to come from the left side right here. John Engelberger comes. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It actually came from the other side. Andre Carter. Oh, my goodness.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense number 98. 15 yards. Automatic. 1st down.
So maybe not many penalties by the 49ers today, but if they come at crucial times, they can really hurt you, and this will be a 1st down for the Redskins at the 35.
Wow, that is just uncalled for by Andre Carter. He's had a nice day today with 2 sacks. He's got to realize that that ball is out of the quarterback's hand. It's just uncalled for right there.
And remember, Shane Matthews playing with a bruised left shoulder, suffered last week against the Eagles. Here Stephen Davis gets an opening, and Davis working his way. 1st down for Davis and the Redskins, close to midfield. Zach Bronson on the tackle.
He's got some shifty feet for a big guy. You know, you don't think there's a lot there, and you look at him and you think he's a power runner. He's going to lower his head, but gosh, he's got such quick feet, and he just finds his way, kind of picks his way through the hole. You take a look at him right here. This is a big man. Look at those nifty feet.
He has averaged 5 yards per carry, 60 yards in the game. This will be play action, and on the screen pass by Brian Johnson. And Johnson still on his feet. Tell you, some of these fire plugs are tough to bring down. The guys like Brian Johnson and Rock Cartwright out of the backfield for the Redskins. A gain of 8 yards. It'll be 2nd and 2 in 49er territory.
Steve Spurrier and his group have done a real nice job of their play calling throughout this football game, never really having the opportunity to get ahead and call some plays with a lead, but have stuck with their game plan, incorporated the short passes and the screens, used the running game. They haven't abandoned their ground attack like they did Monday night versus the Eagles.
And there on 2nd and 2, Matthews, and overthrows Jacquez Green. And of course, gnashing his teeth would have to be Steve Spurrier, because those are the patterns and the throws he wants that quarterback to make.
Yes, and we've talked about patience and efficiency all day, and look at Jacquez Green right there. He is open. That is a well-designed play to control the coverage. Shane Matthews has got to find a way to get that ball into Jacquez's hands.
So it's 3rd down and 2 with under a minute remaining here in the 3rd quarter. And the handoff, Stephen Davis stopped short. Down by contact, so the Redskins try to cross up the 49ers with a running play on 3rd and 2, and Stephen Davis is stopped. Dana Stubblefield got in there, I believe.
And they just really controlled the line of scrimmage with their interior guys. Jim Flanagan, Dana Stubblefield, all there down at the bottom of the pile. Jim Flanagan, there he is, beats his man. He's virtually on the ground, but he's still working. Dana Stubblefield able to shut him down. We got a 4th down coming up.
Dana Stubblefield, who was a free agent after being named Defensive Player of the Year, went to Washington. Didn't happen for him out there, and he is delighted to be back. So it is 4th down and 2, and the Redskins looking for the yardage. Time running out, and a flag, a delay of game called.
Delay. Offense.
So they might have been looking for the 49ers to jump to give them the 1st down. So the 5-yard penalty for delay of game.
Please put 3 seconds on the game clock.
They will adjust the game clock.
3 seconds on the
3 seconds. And the punting unit now comes on for Steve Spurrier.
Well, look at this defensive front. You've only got 3 linemen here. On a 4th and 2, you're expecting a running play. Maybe Shane Matthews came up to the line of scrimmage and didn't like what he saw from the defensive front, decided to let that clock run out and not give up good field position to the 49ers.
Jimmy Williams will return the punt. Jimmy Williams back, and Brian Barker will kick. And they're going to let the time run out, and they will do the kicking when the 4th quarter begins. And that is the end of the 3rd quarter with the score. The 49ers 20, the Redskins 10. Fox NFL Sunday from San Francisco will continue after a word from your local Fox station. And we begin the 4th quarter. Dick Stockton with Darrell Johnston and Ron Pitts. 20-10 the score in favor of the 49ers, who collected the only scoring in the 3rd quarter. Jose Cortez 2nd field goal. So Brian Barker will be kicking, and Jimmy Williams looking into the sun, which is why the Redskins wanted to wait for the 4th quarter. And there is the result, as Williams catches it and is hit immediately. And a terrific play made. Well, next week, Fox NFL Sunday begins with America's #1 pregame show. JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy get you ready for kickoff. Then the Cowboys try to slow down Marshall Faulk and the high-powered Rams, or Warren Sapp and the hard-hitting Buccaneers take on Corey Dillon and the Bengals, or other regional action. Coverage begins at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on Fox. So following the immediate hit by Rashad Bauman, it'll be 1st down for the 49ers on their own 14, leading by 10. Tim Rattay at the quarterback, and Rattay on play action drills it, and it's caught for the 1st down by J.J. Stokes. Let's see where they mark the ball. Sam Shade on the coverage.
Well, you mentioned the immediate hit right here. He beats the coverage right there and never breaks stride. I tell you what, that is a great job by Jimmy Williams of holding on to the football. That has a huge potential for a fumble. Good job, Jimmy Williams, making a tough catch and then holding on after a big hit.
Stokes just shy of the 1st down. 2nd down and 1. Here's Garrison Hurst, 1st down. And right behind Jeremy Newberry, his center, and brings it out to the 31-yard line. So a gain of 8. And the 49ers with 187 yards rushing today. first time this year that they have gained over 150 yards on the ground. Last season they did it on 7 occasions and they got W's for each time. So impressive rushing game, and you would expect with a 10-point lead in the fourth and Tim Rattay in there, they're going to continue that diet. Garrison Hurst, however, on first down will lose a yard thanks to Jesse Armstead.
Jeff Garcia right there. Ron Pitts reported that simply the stomach virus that he is fighting to stay on the field, and now we've got the guy on the other side, Danny Werfel, starting to limber up a little bit. And I tell you what, if Shane Matthews is still not smarting from that late hit by Andre Carter, he is a lot tougher than people give him credit for, because that was a vicious hit. Wouldn't be surprised to see Danny Werfel come in on the next series.
Came in the second half against the Eagles and did not have a good game. Second down and 12 from the 49er 29, and Rattay on play action is looking to run, and he gets crunched at the 35, a gain of 4. Jeremiah Trotter right in the middle. You know, when we were talking to Steve Spurrier yesterday about his rookie quarterback Patrick Ramsey, who was taken on the first round out of Tulane earlier in the week, Spurrier said he's nowhere near being ready, but when we talked to him, he said it may not be that many games before he gets the call.
Well, they've got the bye week next week, so he's going to get a lot of work in the bye week with the first and second groups. And here's a guy that was 16 days late coming into training camp because of a contract issue. The Washington Redskins need to find a way to get him on the field if he's going to be their quarterback in the future.
He's got their best arm, no question of the 3. Third down and 6. Rattay having all day to throw, and a good defensive play by Arrington as he bats that away on the underneath toss intended for Hurst. So fourth down, and San Francisco will kick.
One of the things you see teams get into the habit of is at this point in the fourth quarter, they've been having success running the football. They tend to get a little complacent with their game plan and realize that there's still over 12 minutes left in this football game. And Washington has done a good job of overcoming poor field position throughout the afternoon. This is no time to sit on your lead and just try and take time off the clock.
Not with less than 3 minutes gone by in the fourth quarter, Darrell. Not at all. So Jason Baker will kick. And there's Jacquez Green backpedaling on the 14-yard line. And he hands it off to Champ Bailey. Champ Bailey with one block could really get a good gainer off. And he is dragged down by Zach Bronson. Bronson saved what might have been another 10 yards, and another flag has been thrown. So Bailey, who actually played one offensive play last week against Philadelphia, it was a running play and he fumbled. And a personal foul called against the 49ers. So the Redskins are going to get some more real estate after all.
Personal foul, major face mask against the kickers. 15 yards from the dead ball spot. First down. Timeout.
And remember, Mike Carey said major face mask. Look at this.
Ooh, that is major. Redskins trail by 10, and Danny Werfel is coming at quarterback, replacing Shane Matthews and changing the play at the line of scrimmage. First down, and the handoff to Stephen Davis, and Davis plus one, and a flag goes down. Davis with about a 6-yard gain. Derek Smith the tackle, and they'll bring it back. Holding will be called against the Redskins. So Werfel, who came in the second half moose against the Eagles, sacked 4 times and threw an interception.
Holding. Offense, number 64. 10 yards, still first down.
That's the left guard, David Laverne.
Yeah, he had a very rough second half filling in for Shane Matthews. Elects to choose a running play here on the first snap. Jim Flanagan beats David Laverne up the field. I don't know. I've seen it quite a bit during the course of a game. I've seen worse.
You've seen better.
Seen better.
Former Jet David Laverne. So it'll be first down and 20. And Werfel goes down. Sacked back at the 37-yard line by Chiki O'Keefer. And that is the second sack by the 49ers and a loss of 6 yards.
Chiki O'Keefer coming from the top of the screen, working against John Jansen. Just gets up around the corner. What a nice move right there I don't know what happened to John. I don't know if he got tripped up on somebody's feet, but he went down. One of the things this offense likes to do is hold the ball and get the pocket back a little bit farther because they want to throw the ball down the field. Sometimes the tackles have a tough time adjusting.
2nd and 26, and Liddell Betts, rookie from Iowa, with the carry up to the 40-yard line. They still need 23 yards for the first down, and we still have plenty of time to go here in the 4th quarter. Jacquez Green checks in. So right now, Moose, we're down to a battle of the backups. Tim Rattay toiling for the 49ers and Danny Werfel for the Redskins.
And I don't think anybody expected both Jeff Garcia and Shane Matthews to be out of the lineup. Shane came in with a bad shoulder, but it was his non-throwing arm. But that terrible hit by Andre Carter, I think, is the result of Shane being on the sideline right now.
3rd down and 23, and there's Werfel wide open underneath is Liddell Betts. And he'll give the punter at least some room as he gets into 49er territory, still 10 yards short of the first down. Salim Rashid, the linebacker, on the play. By the way, Julian Peterson has an injured right hip when he was taken to the 49ers locker room. There's Shane Matthews. So the story on Matthews is he was taken out because Spurrier wants a more effective passer. Jeff Garcia with a stomach virus is why he was out. Jimmy Williams back to return, and Brian Barker. Good kick. And the Redskins trying to keep it in play.
Great play, David Terrell.
Great play by David Terrell. Keeps the ball in play at the 2-yard line. We'll be back.
Well, here's your starting free safety for the Washington Redskins, making a great play on special teams. David Terrell keeps his feet in play, gets the ball out of the end zone before he comes down. 1st and 10 for the 49ers on the 2-yard line. He's pinned him deep.
Tim Rattay remains at quarterback. And the running play to Garrison Hurst. And Hurst carries out to the 5-yard line on first down. Jeremiah Trotter making the stop on Hurst, who has gained 84 yards rushing today. Green Bay now rolling it on the Detroit Lions in the opening of Ford Field. Plenty of time to go here in the 4th quarter. 2nd down and 7. On the 2 or on the 5. And here's Rattay's pass. The flag is going to go down, and 2 penalty markers down. Pressure by LeVar Arrington on Tim Rattay. And they're going to call offensive pass interference. That's the preliminary signal.
Pass interference. Offense, number 89. Penalty is declined. 3rd down.
So Ty Streets pushing off, creating 3rd down and long.
He's on the outside right here. He's going in. It looks they're doing a little pick play right there, and Ty Streets has got to go inside, and he can't initiate the contact. He's got to get in there and kind of be a bit of an actor, force that guy to run a bubble over the top or make him break in front of your face, but you just can't run into the middle and hit a guy as a wide receiver.
3rd down and 7. So there's such a thing at this point in the big 3rd down play. We've got it right here. The ball at the 5-yard line of the 49ers. Rattay looking for help, and he is going to get knocked down at the 3 by LeVar Arrington. So Arrington gets to Rattay, who did not take much of a drop on that one, creating 4th down. So that's what they want Arrington to do, get to the quarterback.
Yeah, and he just keeps battling. He's on the left of your screen coming in, working against Scott Gregg, and he doesn't give up on the play. On film, I've seen him give up on the play a few times, but in that occasion right there, he continued to work to the whistle. But he did something at the point of the tackle, and he's kind of hobbling off the field.
So a 4th down coming up, and Jason Baker has to get rid of it in a hurry, and he does. Jacquez Green on the line drive kick, already in good field position for the Redskins, and Green, with flags flying, is tackled at the 30-yard line by Jimmy Williams. LeVar Arrington shaken up, and they'll call the holding penalty against the Redskins, and post-possession will move the ball back.
during the return, holding by the receiving team, number 52. 10-yard penalty. They retain possession. First down. Timeout.
Lamar Marshall. But there you see, obviously, in pain is LeVar Arrington. We'll be back. Stick. First down on the 40-yard line of the 49ers. Danny Werfel is going deep, and it is picked off by Zach Bronson, who is just playing center field in effect. And we want to welcome the viewers who saw the New York Giants in a battle of field goals, apparently defeat the Seattle Seahawks 9-6, and an interception by Zach Bronson of the 49ers.
Well, the Washington Redskins have talked about the fact that they've had to struggle against tough field position not only this afternoon but all season. They finally get a chance to start with a good spot for their drive, and on the first play, Danny Werfel makes an ill-advised throw into double coverage.
So Danny Werfel in relief of Shane Matthews. It is still 20-10 in favor of the 49ers. Go Dick Stockton, Darryl Johnston, and Ron Pitts. The 49ers have led all the way in this game. They're leading by 10, but they will start from the 2-yard line. And Tim Rattay, the quarterback, Jeff Garcia out with a stomach virus in the second half, hands off to Kevin Barlow, and Barlow picks his way to a terrific run and a first down at the 18-yard line. But let's bring you up to date. The 49ers leading all the way, got on the board. Kevin Barlow with a 7-yard touchdown run in the first quarter.
Yeah, but that one was soon followed by an amazing individual effort by Terrell Owens, taking it 38 yards all the way across the field.
And Shane Matthews hits the wrong cornerster for the Redskin touchdown. It is 20-10. The fun and gun has not been a lot of fun today, and Danny Werfel then replaced Matthews. And Tim Rattay, because of the illness to Garcia in there, and the handoff to Kevin Barlow, and not much there, perhaps a loss of a yard on the play. Nearly 7 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter, and great rushing by the 49ers, because Garrison Hurst has gained 86 of those yards.
Yeah, it's actually been quite a few guys contributing to that. The big run by Terrell Owens, Garrison Hurst being the workhorse, but you saw the touchdown run by Kevin Barlow, and then that big run coming off the goal line to get him into some decent field position. So that has been the key for the 49ers this afternoon, effective running game.
Second down and 12. Barlow has gained 57 yards and 10 carries. Pretty healthy rushing day for him. Rattay quickly out to J.J. Stokes, who's tackled for a minimal gain out to the 21 by the ageless Darrell Green, who is retiring after this season after 20 sparkling years.
Just continues to amaze me, you know, year after year, not even week in and week out, but year after year at his age, still playing the cornerback position in the NFL and playing it well. I mean, this is not a guy who's hanging on at the end of his career. He is still playing very, very well.
Although, as Darrell will say, I've lost a little hair on the top of my head, and I've lost a step or two. Used to be known as the fastest man.
He dropped from 4.25 to 4.28.
Third down and 9. Hurst, the running back, with 4 wide receivers, 3 lining up to the right, and here's Rattay to an open Terrell Owens, and Owens can't regain his footing as he is cut down by Fred Smoot, but it is sufficient for a 49er first down on their 35.
A nice completion right there, because they have been struggling offensively. It seems they've got a little bit complacent here late in the course of the game. Terrell Owens just simply coming across the field on a medium crossing route of Eric Johnson. Could have got a little bit of a block right there, and Fred Smoot giving Terrell an opportunity to work downfield along the sideline.
Only the second catch of the game for Terrell Owens, but you saw his brilliant run. First down at the 35 of the 49ers. Trying to use up some time. Kevin Barlow going on the outside, and Barlow nearly breaking a tackle, getting close to the first down. Gets 9 yards. Jesse Armstead, the former Giant, making the stop.
Terrell Owens not only doing a good job catching the ball, but also blocking. Here's your guy in motion coming in. Watch this nice little crackback block right there on the linebacker. No, actually Sam Shade, the safety. That allows Kevin Barlow to get to the outside. Here he comes again. He wanders in. Sam Shade coming on the blitz. Terrell Owens does a nice job, and he doesn't hit him in the back.
Second down and 1 with under 4.5 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Redskins need 2 scores. They trailed all the way, and here's Barlow, first down, close to midfield. Armstead on the tackle, but there's no question that the running attack has returned to the 49ers after a dismal effort against Denver last week.
Yeah, they have really been struggling through the first 2 games of the season to get some consistency in the run game. But you look at the production right there. Both backs over 5 yards per carry. That's a very difficult 1-2 punch. Differing styles. But the interesting thing now is San Francisco creating some packages to get both Garrison Hurst and Kevin Barlow on the field together. But I think it's really going to help Garrison out with that foot injury, take some of that stress and the pounding that he would have over the course of a football game.
From the 48 of San Francisco, first down, and they give it to Barlow, and Barlow spinning his way, stays on his feet, great balance, and picks up another 49er first down, picking 15 yards to the Redskin 38-yard line. And this is the old Bill Walsh style of the West Coast offense. Take the lead and then run the ball, and Marvin Lewis can do little at this point.
Yeah, I think the thing that Marvin Lewis is disappointed with right there, and there's that number, 12 missed tackles today. And that is the one thing that he really, really wants his defense to understand. It's about a team scheme. It's about fundamentals. And when he was the coordinator of Baltimore, there was not a defense in the NFL that tackled better than the Ravens. And he's really, really struggling with his group this year. They've missed a lot of tackles already this season.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line of the Redskins. Handoff to Garrison Hurst, who slices his way to the 35-yard line, and a gain of about 3. Darrell Gardner making the tackle for the Redskins. And Redskins calling a timeout. This is a telling drive for the San Francisco 49ers. These are still shots of the game. Big figure right here.
Well, yeah, he has been the workhorse today, and there was a critical play right there that we reviewed with a touch on a fumble, and shortly after that we had the flag being thrown to challenge. But it's really, really been a physical football game today. The inside running, Jeff Garcia, unfortunately suffering from that stomach virus, actually has affected about 20 players on this San Francisco football team. Kind of hit them on Friday afternoon and Saturday morning. They have really felt the effects of that, and we've had some problem with guys dehydrating this afternoon.
So a snapshot look at what we've had in our game, and the 49ers with a impressive drive here when you need it in the fourth quarter to wear out the defense. This is the 9th play of the drive coming up, and quickly let's check in with Chris Myers in Los Angeles. Chris.
All right, Dick, not a lot of offense in this one, but the Giants do pull out the victory over Seattle. Matt Bryant with a 47-yard field goal in the fourth quarter, and the Giants win it. Seattle remains winless.
All right, Chris, thanks very much. Garrison Hurst on second down picks up a yard. Trotter making the stop for the Redskins. Almost we knew coming into this game, as the Redskins call their second timeout, that one of these teams would really be unhappy after this game, considering they have a bye next week. Embarrassed last week with Steve Spurrier's Redskins on the short end again.
Yeah, both of these teams coming off of very difficult losses last week, and going to have some extended time to think about it on their bye weeks. But Washington, you know, the unenviable task of playing on Monday night and having to travel all the way out to the West Coast. We talked with Steve Spurrier. We asked him how his team was feeling physically. You know, did it affect your preparation during the course of the week? And he actually had an interesting answer. He said, well, we had an extra day to get ready for Philadelphia, and that didn't really help us all that much, so maybe we need less time. And they have come out and played much better this afternoon than they did Monday night. So, yeah, unfortunately, one of these teams is in for a long week off.
And Steve Mariucci, after an un-49er-like offensive showing in the first 2 games, beating the Giants but losing to the Denver Broncos, and Jeff Garcia with the stomach virus, that was the word as to why he was taken out. And the backup Tim Rattay has come in and done the job. Look at the rushing story today. That tells it all. Third down and 5 on the Redskin 33, and here's Garrison Hurst, gets an opening and another first down. Garrison Hurst having a big day, picking up 7 yards on that play.
And that has been one of the featured plays. They have been doing quick hitting inside plays off of a quick count, trying to catch the Washington Redskin front seven before they have gotten into their alignments. And you see how fast Garrison gets into this hole right here. They're able to get Derek Dees, the offensive tackle, right up to the linebacker level immediately. Garrison Hurst can just make his cuts after that.
Hurst with 98 yards. The timeout. 49ers with a first down. Well, I still think the onus is going to be on that Redskin defense. The offense certainly needs to get juiced up, but the defense still not settled in. Here's Barlow, and Barlow gets to the 20-yard line, and we'll have our 2-minute warning after the 6-yard pickup, with the 49ers in control over the Redskins 20-10. 2 minutes remaining here at the San Francisco Stadium at Candlestick Point. The 49ers looking to go 2-1 on the year. Kevin Barlow, the running back, 2nd down and 3, and Barlow forcing the line and close to a first down. Washington out of timeouts. Following our 2-minute warning, they cannot stop the clock.
We talked to Steve Mariucci about Garrison Hurst and Kevin Barlow, and coming into last season, he said, you know, I wasn't even sure if we had a healthy running back. We had a rookie coming in. We had Garrison Hurst coming back from a career-threatening injury. Well, he's in the fortunate position now of having 2 very good running backs, and I tell you, it's been fun to watch them both this afternoon. But Kevin Barlow, he is finishing this game like a champion. He is running much harder than the defenders on Washington are playing right now.
And on the other side of the coin, the Washington Redskins have to learn to stop the run. Their defense was supposed to be the linchpin of this club this year. No matter what happened with the offense, the defense, and that needs a lot of work. Be sure to stay tuned tonight for the Fox Sunday night movie, The Fugitive, starring Harrison Ford and Tommy Lee Jones. It all starts at 7:30 Eastern and Pacific, 6:30 Central. But coming into this game, the Redskin defense gave up an average of 5 yards a rush. And today, Garrison Hurst on the brink of 100. And Barlow, you just talked about. Barlow with 94 yards, Hurst with 97. 35 seconds to go, and that should be the last play of the game. So the Redskins will have to make the long jaunt back east after scoring 1 offensive touchdown in the last 2 games.
Well, I think both questions go unanswered coming into the game today. How would Washington's defense play? They played poorly, giving up well over 200 yards of rushing offense. And would San Francisco's offense finally come to life? Well, Jeff Garcia was feeling the effects of a virus, but if I'm Steve Mariucci, I still have a lot of concerns about my passing game on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, Tim Rattay came in and did not lose the game. That's what they're going to say about Tim Rattay. And that's what you want from a backup quarterback who really doesn't get to see much action. And Steve Mariucci's 49ers now go to 2-1 on the year. The Redskins drop to 1-2. Both teams go to their bye weeks. And a big win for the 49ers because they know in 2 weeks they have to go against the St. Louis Rams. And as we take a look at the final statistics of the game for 49ers, we'll play the Rams. They have lost 6 in a row to them, but today a bright day, a brilliant sunshiny day for San Francisco.
252 yards rushing in the NFL. You don't see that very often, and there's the big concern. Only 114 yards passing, and that is very, very un-49er-like when you look at the offensive side of the ball. So Steve Mariucci has got to have some concerns. They had some opportunities to make plays, but there's been a lot of talk about teams playing them in these deep zone coverages and not allowing them to get the ball down the field. Well, today they had some one-on-one situations, and they weren't able to take advantage of those.
And of course, on the Redskins side, as Garcia walks off, you wonder about their quarterback situation. Shane Matthews relieved for the 2nd straight week by Danny Werfel. Patrick Ramsey, according to the head coach Steve Spurrier, very close to getting the nod. Wouldn't be surprised if he gets the call soon.
I wouldn't be surprised if he gets the call coming out of their bye week. He got some extended reps this week in practice. There was actually potential of him, if he got to a certain point, being available as the number 2 this afternoon. But I would be very, very surprised if we don't see Patrick Ramsey playing quarterback when they play the Tennessee Titans coming out of their bye week.
And for Darrell Green, who you see there, 20th and final year after 7 Pro Bowls and 3 Super Bowl rings. Last time in the regular season here in San Francisco. And the great being interviewed on the field, Darrell Green. The Redskins, after the open date, will travel to Tennessee to go against the Titans, who lost. So this is Dick Stockton for Darrell Johnston saying so long from San Francisco. Right now, we're going to take you to bonus coverage of the game between the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions from Ford Field. So right now, let's join Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, and Chris Collinsworth for the conclusion of the
145 yards. Collins throwing for 282, almost getting to 300 yards. Redskins, Niners. Shane Matthews getting the start despite a sore shoulder. Stephen Davis runs, but it's a fumble. And Tony Parrish, one of the many Niners, had a little food poisoning, a little stomach virus, makes the play, led to a Kevin Barlow touchdown, 7-0 Niners. Terrell Owens gets a reverse. Watch this. Sheds a tackle, wants to throw, then comes back. And first Garrison Hurst, and then Jeff Garcia are going to help him on his way. And it's all the way into the end zone, 14-3 San Francisco.
This is what makes a coach feel great when you're watching a play develop like this and you see a guy getting help from his teammates. First, it's the individual excellence of Terrell Owens. This is a pass as he comes around. He looks to throw it twice. It turns into a run. You see the 49ers start to get upfield, and as he peels back across the field, you see right there Freddie Smoot coming to the football. Garrison Hurst with a nice block. And the thing you have to like the most, here's your quarterback, Jeff Garcia, downfield. And that's not a throw at a block. That is a block to get him into the end zone.
Now, Garcia later was late coming out of the locker room in halftime. He had a stomach virus, getting an IV. He actually missed the first series. When he got in, he's not himself. Throws it long and double coverage. Champ Bailey there to pick it off. And Mooch, Steve Mariucci says, you know what? Take the rest of it off. Tim Rattay, number 13, not Steve Bono. Dude, you know, I got you, babe. Rattay is in there. I just hadn't done that for so long. Rattay to Terrell Owens. Can't get it. He's fresh. It's Tim Rattay. I like it. Shane Matthews then drilled by Andre Carter. Matthews hurt. He leaves. Danny Werfel comes in. It's a 2010 game. Werfel try to make it go. Fun and gun. No fun. Zach and then Kane Bronson makes the pick. And the Niners go on to win it by the count of 20-10. And a key number here is San Francisco running for 252 yards. And a day when their quarterback's hurting, Owens catches only 2 balls. Hurst 97, Barlow 94, and you saw the long run by T.O. So not out of the woods yet offensively for San Francisco.
Offense, right.
But a step in the right direction.
Well, and I think that they expected this young defense to hold together for them early on in the season and make them a competitive team, and I think that's what we're seeing. The offense is going to get better, I think, as Garcia, again, starts to develop more of a rapport with those receivers during this course of this year, and they will be a great balanced football team with Garrison Hurst. So, you know, I don't think there's much to worry about with the San Francisco 49ers. They just, in San Francisco, they expect more.
Well, they have a bye. They got the Rams. They don't go on the road again until Columbus Day, so home cooking may be what they need.
Redskins, all doubt was removed Sunday when the Niners had the Redskins in their run defense for lunch, despite seeing their breakfast all afternoon. Tiptoeing through the empty bottles of Pepto, Andrea Kramer reports.
On Friday night, 17 49ers players, including 8 starters, came down with the stomach flu. On Saturday, they wore masks to try to keep it from spreading. But by game time, the locker room looked like a mass unit.
There were guys, we only have a certain amount of tables. Tables were full. There were guys just sitting in chairs or standing up, holding their own IVs, trying to squeeze the bag, get the fluids to come out faster.
We went through about 20 bags of IVs. Guys getting 2, 3, 4 IVs before the game, getting 2 more at halftime. You know, it's just guys really trying to push through it, being 100 degrees out there as well.
I actually had to come in after throwing the ball with Jeff a little bit pre-game and throw up in the hallway. So, you know, there was a lot of guys that were pretty sick.
It was a little nerve-wracking before the game started because we were unsure if these guys were going to hold up or not. But to their credit, they got it done.
Jeff Garcia was one of the players who was given an IV at halftime, but by the middle of the third quarter, he decided to give way to backup Tim Rattay, who was also battling the flu.
I just didn't feel real crisp on my decision-making. I didn't feel like my feet were working for me. It was just one of those things where I felt I was struggling.
Jeff Garcia told me he'd never pulled himself out of a game before, even after breaking his elbow his senior year of high school. But as Steve Mariucci said, they're a sick team that became a banged-up team with some serious injuries to several players. So the upcoming bye week couldn't come at a better time. In San Francisco, I'm Andrea Kramer, ESPN.
There's amicable departures, and then there's what Jeremiah Trotter's exit from the Eagles looked like. He had led Philly in tackles the last 3 years, but didn't feel appreciated when it came time for contract re-up. So Trotter trotted his happy backside down I-95 to Washington and then circled 2 dates on his calendar, tonight being the first. He'll try not to growl too much backstage with Ann Warner.
Now, when you were in junior high, all your buddies are going off to football practice, and your dad wouldn't let you play. Why not?
It was tough. Growing up, between working and church, we really didn't have time. My dad was kind of scared I would get hurt. My responsibility was to do what I was told. We would go out and cut firewood and sell it. I remember during the summer, we'd be out in that Texas heat all day. It's nothing for it to be 105 degrees in Texas. What was really embarrassing, you would be in your friend's backyard that you go to school with, cutting down their trees while they're in the front yard shooting basketball or swimming or something. But, he finally let me play when I got to high school. I was out cutting trees down one day, and I sliced my hand up with the chainsaw. They said it almost hit the bone, and I was sitting there, blood splashed my face and everything, and the only thing I could think about, my dad's not going to let me play football. But, he still let me play.
But now you've implemented that wood chopping background into your NFL game.
Whenever I make a sack or a tackle for a loss or a key play in the game, I always try to do it. I think my teammates feed off for it, and also means just representing my background, how I grew up, and chopping wood every day.
After 3 years of playing college ball, you turned pro. What fueled that decision?
I really wanted to come out and help my mom and dad out. My dad was 75 at the time, and I kind of knew he was too old to work, and he was needing some help financially. It was a rough start my rookie year, but I know I did the right thing because my dad saw me get drafted, and he died shortly after that. So it was definitely the right decision for me. But he never saw me play, but I know now he got the best seat in the house.
How would you characterize the way you left the Eagles? What kind of terms did you leave on?
They weren't good. They weren't good. Sometimes negotiations can go bad, but you take the cards you're dealt and you play on.
But now on Monday Night Football, you got to be tackling some of your friends. It's got to feel a little different.
It's going to be hard to try to keep myself calm, but it's definitely going to be exciting when the ball is kicked off and when I do that axe chop in the backfield.
That's in the gutters. We're going to need a net to get that knocked.
That might be the worst shot you had all day. I'm glad they didn't come back and slap you in the face.
Make sure the camera gets the eagle putt.
Hooks, Texas, Hooks High School, class of 1995. Not only Jeremiah Trotter, but your Redskins teammate, Wilbert Brown.
Yes, sir.
Who just happens to be your best friend. What's it like for you two to be on an NFL team?
It means a lot to me. I really can't even explain to you how happy I am.
We always own each other all the time.
So we end up fighting. I end up beating him up so bad. He wanted to be my friend.
we talk about each other so bad, some of the guys think we're enemies.
After I beat him up, he started toting my books and
So, but yeah, it's a lot of fun.
You look at that picture of Wilbert, his senior year picture. What comes to mind when you see that picture?
Don't do it.
When I see this picture, I think of Uncle Festus. See, my little girl called him Uncle Wilbert. I call him Uncle Festus. I told him to draw some black rings around his eyes.
Well, you did.
All right. Payback time. Where's Jeremiah?
Let me see here. Oh,
what do you see there, Wilbert?
I see a dude, funny haircut, but he's a good guy.
Didn't play much as a 49er, but that's where the seeds of his coaching success were planted.
Steve has and had one of the greatest football minds I've ever seen.
If he'd had a great arm to go with his mind and his competitive instincts, he would have been an all-pro or Hall of Fame quarterback.
And Spurrier's competitive nature shows up when the Redskins get close to the goal line. Jaws opens the playbook to talk about Spurrier's aggressive play calling next. Steve Spurrier getting ready for his first primetime game as coach. He's got to be a good coach. I mean, he even led Duke to an ACC football championship one year. You see this video, you immediately think 1976 0-14 Bucks, the video that defines the ineptness of that season. But here's the kicker, no pun intended. This video is actually not from that 1976 season. It's from 1978. But as far as Steve Spurrier is concerned, let them think what they want to think. Because as long as you think that, when you think of the expansion 0-14, only team to ever go through a season without a win, you might forget who the quarterback was for all 14 losses. Yep. Steve Spurrier. Now, it's not the brightest star in his quarterbacking resume. Winning the Heisman Trophy at Florida the year that Keith Jackson tells us they invented Gatorade probably is. But that woeful season in Tampa, along with all the other knowledge the ball coach gained under center, made him who he is today. Steve Spurrier in take two.
For most fans, the one thing they remember about Steve Spurrier's NFL playing career is that he was the starting quarterback of the 1976 Tampa Bay Buccaneers, arguably the worst team in NFL history.
He's giving me some good joke material, being the quarterback on the losingest team ever. We beat Atlanta Falcons exhibition game in Jacksonville. I think it was 17-7. And there was a lot of optimism at that time that, hey, we may be able to win some ball games this year. But that proved to be our last win right there. I don't know what they expected from me. I hadn't done very much in 9 years with San Francisco. I got to play 1 year in 1972 when John Brody sprained his ankle severely.
Spurrier was a Heisman Trophy winner and the top quarterback of the 1967 draft. But he spent most of his San Francisco days watching John Brody improve with age.
Steve Spurrier and I, we got along fine. We really did. He was a guy that never carried what we did on the field into the personal arena. And it might be surprising to some, but he was really a good teammate.
Relegated to a backup role, Spurrier did whatever was asked of him. For 5 years, he handled the team's punting chores. But his only quarterbacking opportunities came when Brody was injured.
Steve, fortunately for us, was able to step in, and we didn't really miss a beat. But he was a different player when he was starting. When he got that chance to start, he just blossomed.
Spur, we had a lot of confidence in him. He knew what was going on defensively, what they were trying to do to stop us, but he'd find a weakness and how to beat it.
Steve has and had one of the greatest football minds I've ever seen. If he'd had a great arm to go with his mind and his competitive instincts, he would have been an all-pro or Hall of Fame quarterback.
In 1976, the trade winds blew Spurrier back to Florida, where he had achieved fame as a college player.
He was really brought here not because they expected him to be a world beater, but to sell tickets because he was well known in the state, and they felt like they needed everything they could to sell tickets.
I thought he would buy us time, and you know, like anything else, once you do it, you learn from your mistakes, and I realized that was a big mistake because he was a legend in that state, and he didn't live up to the expectation of the fans.
Right now, I'm really excited about being here because it is a first-class organization. Coach McKay's assembled a real good bunch, I think, and everything is run right, and I think all the players here are real happy to be here.
Steve was towards the end of his career. He certainly didn't see this as a promotion, and he's coming into a very difficult situation where literally he's getting smashed week in and week out.
And Spurrier took some hits from his own side as well.
I think the biggest thing that was a disappointment was that he never really took over the leadership role. That was the thing that we were looking for, you know, in addition to his ability, and we didn't think he did it.
He just felt that we were doing things too simple, and if you do it too simple, the other team can stop you much easier. He wanted to open it up so much more. We just weren't getting a lot of production out of the receivers.
The lack of control frustrated Spurrier, a circumstance he vowed would not be repeated. He never played again after 1976, channeling his energies to coaching. His creativity and ambition have ultimately brought him back to the NFL, this time as head coach of the Washington Redskins.
And the ball coach put the ball up 40 times in week 1. And, you know, Shane Matthews never sniffed a 109 quarterback rating until last week. But he also blended in the run, Spurrier did. Josh, how did he do that?
Well, you know what he did? He came out and really tricked everybody. Everyone thought it's going to be this spread the field throw ball. He knows the foundation is Stephen Davis, an excellent running back. And he also went back to the foundation of his type of passing game, the flat girl. They threw it 4 times, completed 3, got yardage out of it. And know what they're doing with the offense. But what you got to do is look at what they did in the scoring zone. That's really the critical thing. When you get the ball in the scoring zone, you have to be aggressive. Here's what you look at. The play design is to get the ball to Kevin Lockett. It's on the money. You see the TV replay, but look at the coach's tape of how they got it open. Wide receiver Kevin Lockett will run a post, reflecting Spurrier's aggressive approach as the Redskins near the red zone. Focus on safeties Dan Morgan and Kwame Lassiter. Morgan will rotate down into a lurk position, and Lassiter will rotate to his deep middle responsibility. Look at the execution by Matthews and Lockett. Lockett beats the corner to the inside, and Matthews beats the safety with the throw for the touchdown. You see this from the end zone. As Lockett enters the picture from the right, corner Dwayne Starks is in good position. But look at the separation Lockett creates, leaning into Starks before breaking to the post. This subtle move to the outside allows Lockett to break open to the inside. Now focus on Matthews. Initially, he will look to the left to influence Lassiter and keep him from becoming a factor on the post. Lassiter takes the bait, and Matthews makes a perfect throw away from him. Lockett beat the corner. Matthews beat the safety. Great execution. Touchdown, Redskins. The challenge for Washington tonight will be pass protection. Jim Johnson, the Eagles' defensive coordinator, loves to attack the quarterback and try to break down your protection schemes. Tonight, Spurrier better be careful. The Eagles will get after.
In this validation process for Spurrier's offense and the Washington Redskins, the team understands that the receiver especially, that they're going to get opportunities to make plays because they're getting the football out of the quarterback's hands. Shane Matthews completed 28 of 40, and a lot of them were like this. 25 of them were like this. That guy is not open. But Shane Matthews getting the ball out of his hands is giving guys opportunities to make plays. They understand that. Receivers welcome that, and that's why this team has an opportunity to do what they're doing.
Steve Spurrier reminds me of Columbo. You think he's stupid, and then he's getting ready to leave the room, and he says, just one more question. And you realize he's smart. Steve Spurrier comes up all the time, and it's like, you know, I was trying to throw the ball downfield, and then I tried to get a throw down there deep, and then they didn't take it, and then we called a couple of more deep ones, and at the end I tried to win the game, and, you know, it's not about me. It's about the guys on the team. If you buy into that, could be sitting right here.
Now, interesting. During the preseason, when Spurrier was scoring 35 points during the preseason, everybody called him cocky. Last week, he ran the ball 26 times. I didn't hear one single cocky Spurrier comment.
No, he good. No, he good.
See,
no.
In the regular season,
he was cocky. Yeah, but when you throw it that many times, you know, you throw it. You got a guy over here, and you throw it a lot of times. That makes you cocky. Then you got, you know, expect you to throw it, and you get it over a guy over here, and you run it 26 times, and we call you good.
Throw a little dirt in there, and then you got it all going.
Stephen Davis ran the ball 26 times last week, right?
26
times. And how many carries at Marshall? Anyway, with Spurrier, it's as simple as you run around old man Johnson's Cadillac that's sitting up on 4 cinder blocks. You run to the stop sign and stop, and you just keep running all the way.
That's where it starts. You got it. His game plan, though, seriously, when you talk to coordinators, they say that it's fairly simple. It is. They play tight. Defensively, we throw deep. You play off, we run the shallows and the crosses. It is fairly simple.
Shane Matthews, it's not that complicated. Shane Matthews, okay, he looks better now than he did walking in the building with that shirt and jeans on. Shane Matthews ready to go on our Monday Nighter. Stick around, we're back.
Last Monday, the Super Bowl champion New England Patriots rocked the Pittsburgh Steelers, silencing some doubters. Tonight, 2 aspiring Super Bowl teams from the NFC East collide when Donovan McNabb and the Eagles take on the Redskins from our nation's capital. In Week 1, the Eagles season got off to a rough start after giving up a big lead to the Titans. On the other hand, rookie head coach Steve Spurrier's fun and gun offense got off to a flying start versus Arizona. It's the Eagles and Redskins next on Monday Night Football. Are you ready for some football? Put the pedal to the metal and somebody steer. Tonight the NFL kicks it into high gear. The Skins' new coach looks to make an impression. Billy wants to teach him an NFL lesson. You better sit back, strap in and hold tight. It's always full throttle on Monday night. Hit it. Come on and hit it. Come on and get ready. Are you ready for some football? Monday night party. It's a Super Bowl season. We're gonna rock, rock, rock it. Players at the ready. Alan John at the mic. All my Reddit friends are here for Monday night.
Welcome everyone to